Matt.
Hello and welcome to the 400th episode of the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with Sean Bell.
Hello.
Matt Murray.
Hello.
And of course he's not here. Of course he's not here. James Farley is not here.
Everyone in the chat saying, "Oh, it's a bit. It's a bit. He's going to turn up."
Yep, he is not here for the 400th episode. I think that is...
It's a bit of a piss take, is what it is.
He's not very well, Matt. He's not very well.
He is. That's true.
Passes out several times a day, and I think...
Could he not have got help on, I don't know, episode 401, 402?
Yeah, could he have postponed?
Yeah.
He might not have made it. He might not have made it.
He's left it years. Why time it with this episode is what I'm saying.
What's going on with the intro music? Well, Nick Parton, our very own resident musician, wanted to do a triumphant episode 400 special of our intro music. So that was from Nick Parton. Thank you so much for sending that over. We loved it. I felt really bad. He sent that on Tuesday. Where was I? I think it was in meetings on Tuesday. So I sent it to you guys, and we all loved it. I forgot to reply until like Saturday. So he sent that on Tuesday. And he just must have thought that we all sat there going, "Fucking hell."
Right.
So I'm really sorry, Nick. You deserve better than that. But thank you so much for doing that and sending it over. We love you.
I got a message actually from Nick saying no longer our official musician. So sorry about that.
Right, well, that was inevitable. We'd like to start the show by thanking our Patreon producers for this month. They are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap. That's one Full Nelson member. Simon Nelson, that's another. Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights to Human Rights, that's another one, just one. Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, Richard Sawyer, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Tom S, Stan, Philip with an F, Fred Fenge, Steve the Nuke Littler, Cutty, Steve Lee, and we've got two new Full Nelson members. One of them's a returning Full Nelson member. It was one of my favourites. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man is returned as a Full Nelson member. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love that name. And Tri-State, thank you so much for going Full Nelson. Welcome to the crew. There's some snacks on the side if you want to help yourself to those.
So I legally have to inform you there are no snacks.
Okay. The bar isn't free. The first drink is free. You can have whatever you want, just as long as there's none of the top shelf stuff.
You have to just let me know and I'll get you a voucher. But Tri-State, we know, from Twitch fame basically.
Do we?
Well, Tri-State is the one that would often gift a crazy amount of subs randomly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Tri-State, the absolute legend that would come in and give like 700 subs. Tri-State. Thank you, Tri-State. Thank you so much. So we should probably get straight to the feedback, should we?
Patreon.com quickly about what we're doing for the Patreon video thing this month.
Okay, right.
Turning.
Okay, patreon.com/TCGS. We've got a bonus show coming up. We've also got this video thing showing up. Sean wants us to talk about it because it was his idea. So
no, I'm pretty sure I nicked it from Lindy, actually. Thank you, Lindy.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think pretty sure she suggested it first.
The brains of the outfit.
Basically, I think we called it like the Temu challenge. It's not a challenge. Basically,
can't we call it like Temu to me? Or is that too much?
That's good. That's really good. Someone else must have done that.
Yeah, that is very good, actually. Yeah, Why are we calling it that? Let's call it that.
We can do whatever we want.
Go on then.
So basically,
isn't it to me to Timu? That's
to
the
you,
thing,
to me, Timu to me,
to me, to you, to you, to me. It doesn't matter. You're right. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah. Go on.
Basically, so we each randomly drew each other's names out of a hat, and then we had 30 quid to spend on each other at awful website Temu.com.
It's bad, isn't it?
So I think Dave and I have done ours. Don't know about James. Matt hasn't done his yet.
No, I will.
Dave and I think are very, very pleased with ourselves. And
There's one particular item in mine that I cannot wait for the world to see because it's incredible. I'm also worried that we've just put gaming in and just picked out the same shit for each other, but we'll see. And I'm also exceptionally worried that my package is going to come through the post, and I'm going to go, "Oh, what's this?" and open it. Like, do you? I'm terrible with that stuff.
It's a risk.
Oh, it's got my name on it.
So you've got it sent back to yours. You haven't got like gift wrap sent somewhere else.
What? No.
Okay.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I just wanted to know.
No, we're having them all. Why would we have them sent to ourselves?
Well, no. I'm confused. I get what you mean now. You mean as in like the one you bought for someone else, not the one the one that someone's bought for you. You're gonna open that straight away. Yes. That's what you mean. Okay.
What the fuck are you talking about, Matt?
That's all go. I get it. I thought you were implying.
It's all go.
I thought the thing you were implying was that you'd actually send the present you bought to yourself, and then you send it on again.
But why we?
Well, I don't know.
That
doesn't make any
drugs
sense
today, Matt? Are you all right?
I have actually, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. No.
It's bank holiday, mate.
I got confused.
That was the wildest. There was about 14 episode titles in that.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
People in the chat are saying, "Stop, please stop."
So we're going to do a video show where it's all of us opening our packages for the first time, and I'm sure we're all just going to get loads of really thoughtful, heartfelt gifts.
Yeah, because we love each other. I do worry that it's going to be very short. We're going to have to find a way of padding it out a little bit. But then
we said that about Sonic versus Sonic. So.
we did do a 2-hour show with Sonic versus Sonic.
I'm not too worried.
Which, please, if you've signed up to that tier, watch that stream because I thought it was one of the best things we've ever done. Sean's not convinced.
No. It was a very fun stream. I just thought the book was shite.
Right, okay, the book was shite, but we knew it was going to be shite. No one went into it thinking Sonic versus Sonic was going to be
literature.
High art. No, you still need to send that to Matt because Matt and I are going to complete it. We're going to complete it. I don't care. Maybe we'll do one run a week until we get it right. I think that's what we got to do. I'd love that. What are you laughing for? Should we get to feedback from last week's show's long feedback section this week? Because we asked people. Yeah, look, we're gonna
let's bask in it.
Yeah, let's bathe in it. Yeah,
do both of them things actually. Yeah.
Yep.
This is feedback. Ian Lee, congratulations on lots of shows. Very heartfelt message from Ian Lee.
Ian. I was tearing up when I read that.
Yeah,
it's a bit annoying because he's done way more.
Has he?
He's done. Oh God, he was on every day on LBC, wasn't he? So
that's cheating. No, you don't count that.
Yeah, it's cheating. No.
Well, maybe we should send him a great message like, "Congratulations on doing loads more shows."
Okay, well, he listens to this, so we'll get that message.
There you go, Ian. That's for you. Chris B, congratulations on hitting 400 episodes. TCGS is so awesome in many ways, but reflecting on what I love most about the podcast is how you've introduced me to so many games that I'd otherwise never have bothered with or heard of in the case of some of Sean's games. And in doing so, rekindling my interest in gaming.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not. That sounded like a sly dig in the middle of it.
Never even bothered with or heard of in the case of Sean. Yeah. The biggest is Dark Souls. I was aware of the game but knew little about it, but after hearing about Dark Souls, I decided to give it a go when lockdown started in 2020. Listening along to Dark Souls as I played made the experience so much more fun. Since then, I've completed Dark Souls 2, watching James play it as I was going along, and about a week ago, I started Dark Souls 3. Thanks to James for starting his stream with that. There are too many other games to mention, but above all, which your passion and enthusiasm for this hobby is what I love most about the show. And it is this that has inspired me to play more games and rediscover what I love about this hobby. Thank you from Chris B.
Thank you, Chris B.
Thank you very much. That I've heard that from a few people that Dark Souls listening to that through. The only mistake that I made of that is because this Dark Calls was between Joypod and TCGS starting, right? And so I was like excited to talk to James about stuff that wasn't just Dark Souls. And actually, if I went back and changed anything, it would be remove all of the non-Dark Souls chat from the pod because, then it doesn't sort of age the podcast. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. Dark Souls is amazing. I still think it's my favourite one of all of those. So yeah, thanks for the lovely words.
Geen, cheers on 400 episodes, and I look forward to the next 400 after this. Whatever circumstance led me to discovering most of you through Joypod was a stroke of luck, and learning about my favourite podcasters reuniting years later for TCGS was nothing less than a miracle. Thanks for letting me be natural.
Cheers, Geen.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks, Geen.
We'll keep going. Steve Lee, episode 400 and still going strong. The Fantastic Foursome can do no wrong. David Turner's at the helm, guiding the ship. Matt Murray on hand with a pun or a quip. James Farley, the butt of most of Dave's jokes. Sean Bale, this fella, is the toppest of blokes. Patreon content, so much quality stuff. Enriches your life, we can't get enough. So do yourself a favour, forget everyone else. Keep the lads coming and upgrade to full Nels. Brilliant.
But when I was pasting this into the doc, I'm not having a go, Steve. Keep the lads coming.
Oh, laughs. It was supposed to be laughs. It was supposed to be laughs.
Keep the lads coming.
I know.
So that's what we're gonna do.
All right, my turn. We're doing shifts.
Big E, congrats on hitting episode 400. I've been listening since the beginning and met you guys once at EGX for a live show, the one where David pretended to shout out security for a joke, but I actually turned up and he got told off. And you inspired a few of us to start our own podcast, Modern Escapism. He got a bloody plug in there. I can't
40 quid, Big E, that's 40 quid.
Yeah,
big up Modern Escapism. Big up, Big E.
He's got a question, but we'll save it for later. But actually, fuck it, we'll do it now. Anyway, my question spawns from David mentioning Burger Brothers in Brighton last week, which is close to Worthing, my hometown. I've eaten there and it's top tier. Have you guys ever listened, watched, or have you ever listened or watched something where they mentioned a place you eat out too and got a little too excited when you saw or heard it? Keep living it for another 400 episodes at least.
No, I think I'd do the recommending. I don't listen to what anyone else
refuses to hear my recommendations.
No, I don't think that's ever really happened. Because obviously all my food recommendations are all sort of Chester and Manchester based, and no one else lives up there, as we know.
Here's a good when someone mentions McDonald's, though. I was like, oh yeah, that's
I know that one.
I also eat McDonald's.
That happened twice, by the way. When we went to EGX, we had 2 security warnings.
Did we?
Right. Yeah, see if you can remember them. You'll definitely kick yourself when I tell you what the second one is. So the first one was when Ian Lee come onto the front of the stage and I was shouting security, security, and they thought I was being serious and all the security started rushing over. What was the second one?
I have no idea.
No idea, Matt.
Oh, was it the Matt getting choked out on stage?
Yes, it was, Sean. Well done.
Yeah.
So what had happened was we had arrived to do the Cane, was it the Cane and Rinse thing? The gaming challenge.
Yes.
But they were on like at the start of the day and we were on afterwards. And when we got there, everyone was asking about whether we were doing the choking out on stage thing. And some members of staff heard us talking about it and we were joking, like going, yeah, he's getting choked out on stage. Don't worry about that, mucking about. And they reported it to security and Tom came over to us from who was running EGX at the time and said, right, we have had reports that you're going to choke someone out on stage and we can't have that. And I was like, no, that's not real. It's not real. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's one of those, isn't it? Because obviously, from our perspective, that seems absurd. But then if someone did do something like that for a laugh, and it was like, where was security? Why did no one?
Yeah, totally. No, they did. They made the right call, but it was quite funny. Next.
Matt, hi, I just wanted to ask, or was it just me, or actually I think that's kind of how there are some other 400 bits just in different orders, so I'm just going to keep going down the line. Matt, I just wanted to ask, was it me or could I hear moderately heavy breathing during the episode last week? I work as a community nurse and often listen to you on my drive around Leeds, Harrogate and elsewhere else I am sent. There are a few times where it genuinely sounded like breathing sound was coming from behind me. Obviously it wasn't, as I checked. And it certainly amused me and it brought a new dimension of peril to the podcast experience. Also, while listening in the car yesterday, I saw a cow slip on its arse and slide slowly down the hill it had just tried to climb. Keep up the good work, and I genuinely look forward to my my weekly dose of gaming chatter. Appreciate you all from Matt.
I'll hold my hands up. It was a quick and dirty edit last week, and I was on shift. It
wasn't you doing the heavy breathing though, right?
No, it wasn't me doing the heavy breathing. That was all James, I think.
Part of the reason why James
that's why he's not in now.
Yeah, he's actually really ill, Matt, which you should know, given your profession.
Yeah, if anything,
so
kind of your fault.
Embarrassing.
And the cow slip also probably your fault.
I try and take it as when people are like, "Oh, I heard this noise at this timestamp or whatever," when it's not just me sneezing or whatever. I sort of take it as a compliment because the shit that makes it into some supposedly professional podcast, and it's just accepted as part of the course. Whereas with our show, which is normally slick as fuck,
we lock it down.
So people like feel the need to mention these things. I'm like, yeah, do you know what? We're being held to a higher standard, and I'm okay with that.
It is. There's some popular gaming shows out there that should take the same amount of care as what we do on ours. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I do. Yep. Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chat has messaged, congratulations on reaching the 400th episode milestone. The show keeps getting better and better, and I can't wait for how good the 500th episode is going to be. I tried to find some gaming Easter eggs related to number 400, but was unsuccessful. So unless you can talk about your experiences with the entire 400, we have nothing. However, I had discovered that having over 400 songs in a discography is a milestone achievement for an artist. It demonstrates not only prolific output, but also a significant impact on the music industry. Some musicians with extensive discographies are the Beatles, Bob Dylan, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and The Fall, and now we can add the computer game show to that list. Not a shabby list. Great job, guys.
Yeah,
we are as good as all of those artists. That's what I'm getting from that.
Better.
Taylor Swift released 400 songs on one fucking album. That...
Close.
What she did.
31.
Okay.
Let's not slag off Taylor Swift.
I'm not
slagging off Taylor Swift. I'm just saying I've never heard a double album that probably couldn't have been whittled down to a single one.
There's a Caesars album that I fucking love. That's a double album. I think it's called Strawberry Weed. I can't remember. Anyway, listen to the Caesars. They're the ones that did the Jerk It Out song, and no one else knows what they do. I knew what they did. I fucking love every song they've done. What a band!
Okay.
What a band!
Was it not just loads of mixes of Jerk It Out?
No, but they did have Jerk It Out on 2 of their albums.
Yeah.
They did, because they had it on. I can't remember the name of the album, but they had it on that, and then it Jerk It Out got big later. So the next album, they just added a single on the second album as well. Paper Tigers, which is a fucking brilliant album, by the way.
They're like, sorry, did we want to release that song? I guess it's out again now, I guess.
Yeah, no.
We're
so bad again.
Gary's in the chat saying Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Nah, mate, it's, you start off with Tonight, and this is fucking stunning. And they're like, what's this next track? It's boring. Where's Zero? Where's Bullet with Butterfly Wings? Come on. You could get rid of loads of stuff. It's fine.
I don't know any of that.
Do you know Smashing Pumpkins?
Oh yeah, I know Smashing Pumpkins, but not that well. Like not as well as I feel that I should. So like, I can't name you Smashing Pumpkins albums or anything like that. But yeah. All right. Well, that's
listen to half of the tracks on Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
I love the fact that we've gone. Yeah, Taylor Swift is shit. Anyway, Smashing Pumpkins and the Caesars.
See that? Go to Chris in the chat and think, yeah, Smashing Pumpkins discography would be better as a single album. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, right. No one cares. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Nick P. Assuming Nick Parton, but Nick P. Happy 400th, Leds. If I think back not only on the history of TCGS but of all gaming podcasts you've been involved in, obviously you put me onto games that I've not heard before, but more than that, you made me give games I thought I hated another go. With Joypod, It was Telltale's The Walking Dead. I thought the demos janky and shit, and it was a revelation at the time for narrative games. With Dark Calls, I dived back into the world of Lordran after getting fucked off with the difficulty, and now I realise it's incredible. With TCGS, the most recent example of Citizen Sleeper, I bought it on a whim during a Steam sale, got unreasonably annoyed about how many rules it throws at you off the bat, chafed at the dice-based gameplay because I don't like board game-style mechanics, and had an internal childish tantrum at how much text there is. Yes, I have anger issues. I almost immediately got a refund. A year later, after listening to an old Gotti and having an active Game Pass sub, I gave it another crack, and against all odds, it clicked. What a fucking game. Once you tune into its rhythms, the game just swallows your attention whole, and I think I did my entire playthrough over 2 very intense days. Life doesn't always hand you good surprises, but ending up enjoying something you previously dismissed is the best kind. Nice one, and cheers.
That's really nice to hear.
Right.
Thank you. If only Dave
Great.
felt the same way.
Look, I thought it was okay. No, I did. I think it was okay. Like, I enjoyed lots of aspects of that game. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as some people say. But that's part of the fun, isn't it, with this show? Part of the fun. You never know what you're going to get.
Imagine it. We should start doing episodes where someone just gives an opinion and everyone goes, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we could call it Nextlander.
Wow, he's really coming out on all cylinders tonight.
This our 400th episode. I'm going to smash the shit out of every other gaming podcast I can.
Rival.
Fuck it. Go on.
Yeah, a bearded wanderer.
Backpage pod.
Ooh.
Oh, that's it. You're just saying the name of shows now.
Yep.
Doesn't
in a way that implies you being negative without actually saying it.
A bearded wanderer.
Apocalypse Gamers. Go on.
Dear TCGS, in last week's episode at approximately 1 hour 54 minutes, Matt said, I've been to Five Guys twice, it was nice, before going on to complain about the price. Nobody commented on this at the time. Maybe you will have such music in your hearts, it was unremarkable to you, but this display of raw poetry and musicality left me thunderstruck. It was like I had been present at the birth of Wrong Way Down a One-Way Street. I immediately quit my job and went out amongst the people to spread the good news. The footprint of a global preaching economy has been optimized in recent years with a greater focus in select group of creators harnessing the power of communities more efficiently than ever before. The result of this exciting market development or adjustment is that I now have a new... The result of this exciting market adjustment is that I now have no job and also no take-up for the gospel of TCGS episode 399. My question is, could I please have another morsel of poetry to nourish my soul? P.S. Shortly before the golden refrain was revealed to us at 1 hour 54, Sean said with a similarly electrifying rhythm that when he goes to Five Guys, he orders small fries because there's too many of them otherwise. But for some reason, that's just didn't sing in my heart quite the same way. Sorry, Sean.
Well, if you listen to a lot of Yard Act, there are times where Sean goes into like a rhythm and I just go, holy shit, this could definitely be a Yard Act track.
This could be a track.
Weird trick.
I went to Five Guys the other day.
Did you? How much did you spend in there?
Was it nice?
Too much, baby. I had to stop myself being like, I want the big boy burger, please. Because I'm a big boy. I don't want a little burger. I'm too scared to order a little burger. And plus my wife was there and didn't want to embarrass myself.
Okay.
That was Patreon payday as well. That was why I was like,
oh yeah,
that's
big burger, surely.
Because I'm going to Five Guys and it's going to ruin me if I don't get the Patreon money.
That is dangerous. That is dangerous going out on Patreon payday. You got to stay in for a good week.
I went into a Lego shop, but refrained from
a real Lego shop.
Yeah, okay, fine. You refrained, but what if they took PayPal? You would have bought quite a bit.
I'm a Klarna man, but yeah.
That was a Klarna. Right.
Big Bag Gary Dutton, the UK's #1 Gary. Quick one, lads. I was on Fart Watch this week, and I'm just reporting a fart at 2 hours, 2 minutes, 5 seconds of the podcast. Fucking hell, our listeners. Fart details. Suppressed fart. Evidence of fart being somewhat trapped between chair and buttocks, forced out with some effort as indicated by a slight gasp that follows. Initial evidence points to James Farley, as Dave and Matt were engaged in conversation with Sean laughing along. However, there's a long period of silence from Sean and a slight Sean Bell tone to the post-gas gasp, which means he's not entirely out of the woods on this one. I hope you get to the bottom of it. Gary Dutton.
Right. So I've done the research, as I say, it was my edit. I mean,
playing the clip doesn't really work because it is quite hard to. The fact that Gary has picked up on this is unbelievable.
Someone's actually got an ear for it.
Well hidden. Would anyone? I mean, Dave knows because I sent it to him.
Can I go through the conversation?
Okay, go
on. So I took a screenshot of Gary's message and sent it to Sean, who was editing last week, and said, "Do the job, please." And I did put. It could very well be me, by the way. I'm not, And you said you'd look in a bit. I got home, right? and checked my audio, and I was in the clear, so I let you know. And you said, right, I'm confused. There's no fart there. I don't know what Gary was
there was
talking
a weird,
about.
for some reason in Reaper it was showing up. It wasn't the bit Gary was talking about basically at that timestamp. It was like 20 seconds earlier or something. But
Yeah. So I said that there's definitely a fart after I say shit. Yeah, what? I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but I'm sure you've got your version of it, right? But
oh yeah, I remember that. Fucking hell, your memory is insane. Shit, yeah, well, that was all those reports.
It's really hard to hear. I don't know if you heard that, but it's really hard to hear.
Yeah.
Right. And then James has just put, anyway, of course it's fucking James. And I replied, isolate, enhance, export. James did another little punky on it. It wouldn't be the 400th show without us talking about James farting on the podcast. So there we go.
There was a lot of chair creaking going on as well.
Yeah, but that was definitely a fart.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I'm not excusing him. Just saying.
So, have you got a version of it?
An enhanced version? No.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you don't. That's fine.
No.
But yeah. So if you want to go back and listen to that, you can hear James.
Put that on the
farting.
Patreon feed.
Yeah. We'll do a big cut of all of them. But not the 3 hours of farting because there's probably a limit.
But Gary, thank you so much for we appreciate the hard work because I never heard that. So how you picked up on that is beyond me.
Okay, Eddie Egg Codler. Hi, you also listening to the discussion about the ongoing tattoo bet between Matt and James. When you set a time limit of 7 days post-launch of Outlaws for the acceptable, well, no, it wasn't that, but we'll come back to that. When you set a time limit of 7 days post-launch of Outlaws for the acceptable Metacritic score, I instantly wondered if applying the same rules would change the score for Jedi Survivor. So I did some research into this, including emailing Metacritic to ask how the score calculations worked, to which I received no reply. So 7 days after the embargo, 26 the 4th, 23, lifted on Jedi Survivor was midnight, 2nd of May, 2023. So I went through all the scores that fell into that timescale. I also discounted reviews the reviews that didn't have scores attached to them, which meant 94 out of 121 reviews are valid. I added up all the scores of those 94 reviews, which gives a total of 8,070, which when you divide by 94 to get the average, you get a figure of 85%. So a completely wasted hour on my behalf. P.S. The actual figure is 85.85%, so could mathematically be rounded up to 86% in case of a tie. P.P.S. An egg coddler is a little pot with a lid that's placed in boiling water, so when you cook/poach an egg, I at least learn some new breakfast knowledge. Yeah,
that's very good. Very good bit of correspondence. That I enjoyed.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. Did I say Joe spoke to the tattoo artist this morning?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they crossed paths, and Joe said, "So you're doing this tattoo thing for David's podcast?" He said, yeah. He said, "Don't worry, I'll work on the design and we'll make it look decent." And Joe went, "I don't think that's what they want." And he went, "Well, I can't morally tattoo that directly onto someone." So I think I'm gonna sort of say to him, I mean, it's down to whoever loses to talk to
me.
But I'll just say, look, so long as you can do stuff around it if you want, but the Wookiee has to look like the Wookiee.
I don't really want anything around it. I just want a Wookiee on my arse.
Well, if that's what you want, that's what you want, mate.
And I think I have decided I want it a little bit higher so you could see the head poke out.
That you're fucking insane.
No, because then it's better both worlds. Because someone might accidentally see it, and I'm like, oh, well, here's the rest of it. So it's like a little. What's
but instead, they're going to see you in a water park with a Wookiee going.
Yeah, a little
pulling
head.
The strangest face out the top of your. Okay.
Obviously, I'm not going to be showing the rest of it in the water park, but I think best of both worlds. I think personally, a little Wookiee head poking out. Where were we?
That is
Screech.
Best of both worlds.
Okay, hey gang, I just had to quickly review that in case there's anything problematic. But Screech, hey gang, is there a chance you could do a recurring feature in which you read Sean's game reviews from the early noughties? You could call it Savage by the Bell.
That's quite a good shout, actually.
I mean, it'd be excruciating for me, obviously, but
content, innit? Oh yeah, no, I don't know. I don't like that idea. I don't like that idea because then someone could find some of mine.
That's true. No clean hands here, is there?
and I'm like a bad, I was never good. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like I could go, oh yeah, well that was early days. I got better. I didn't. I was never
Mastered
good at
it, moved on.
Yeah, I think I did one, and that was enough for me.
What was it?
I think it was Heavy Rain.
You reviewed Heavy Rain?
I'm sure I did something on Heavy Rain for them guys, yeah.
All right, okay.
Anyway,
All right.
Adam C, this is the last bit of correspondence. When discussing Fallout 4, David mentioned meeting the Railway. The faction in Fallout 4 that seeks to liberate synths from the Institute is called the Railroad. It's so named after the underground network that helped southern slaves escape to the free states of the US and Canada in the 1800s. Pretty on the nose and hard to forget, although David did. I added a lot.
It was 10 years. This game was 10 years ago.
Get it right.
No, I don't know. I'm
Secondly, when discussing Stellar Blade, James described how the characters have no repartee and are basically just vacant entities. None of you jumped on for the obvious gag. Major letdown. Salute.
Go on. What's the obvious gag? What am I missing?
Entities.
Yeah, but that's a terrible pun, and you wouldn't catch me doing that.
No, Matt doesn't do that sort of thing.
Now, that would traditionally be the end of feedback, but we've got one more piece of feedback that was sent over to me today from James Farley.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Who wanted to get involved because he couldn't possibly be left out. But
He wanted to get involved. Where the fuck is he now, then?
What about him,
Well,
isn't it?
He can get involved very easily.
so
Just turn up at 8:30 on a Monday like he's supposed to.
he sent this series of paragraphs through and has asked me to read it out on the show. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
As I stand here today, he's definitely not standing, albeit virtually, my heart is filled with an immense sense of gratitude and affection for each one of you, my dear co-hosts of TCGS. It has been
Is it? What is this?
Is that ChatGPT? Is that what?
Is that what's it might be?
Yeah.
It has been an incredible journey of 400 episodes, a journey filled with laughter, challenges, and most importantly, heartbreaking camaraderie. Tonight, as we celebrate, do we?
What?
We do. You're not celebrating, are you, mate? Because you didn't want to show up. As we celebrate yet another milestone, I am deeply sorry for not being there in person to share our collective joy. But please know that my spirit dances amongst you in celebration. There is no way James' spirit dances.
I'm just imagining a little James ghost like boogieing around.
No, it's definitely sitting in the corner. Reflecting on our time together, I'm overwhelmed by the memories we've created. We haven't created all those memories, James. We have. This is going to be a recurring theme, I think. Our annual Game of the Year shows stand out as a testament to our shared passion for gaming, our dedication to our craft, and our relentless pursuit of entertaining our beloved audience. You hate the audience, James. You moan about them every week. I cannot move forward. Right, do I stop there, James? Is that what I cannot move forward without giving a special shout out to Sean and Matt for their exceptional streaming on Twitch. You guys have taken our presence to new heights. Well, 20 to 40 views. Engaging with our community in ways that have not only entertained but truly connected with our audience. Your dedication, creativity, and sheer will to make every stream better. Why is most of this about the streams?
I don't know.
James?
Where's he going with that? He's setting something up.
Okay, well, we'll see. Your dedication, creativity, and sheer will to make every stream better than the last have been nothing short of inspirational. To every single person who has been part of this incredible journey, thank you. Thank you for believing in this dream, for every moment of hard work, and for every laugh shared. Thank you for believing in this dream, for every moment of hard work. I mean, even when he's on the show, he's not putting in hard work, is he? He's usually texting.
Chris in the chat has suggested that ChatGPT wrote this, and I'm leaning towards.
I think you might be right. I think you might be right. And for every challenge we've overcome together, though I am not there with you tonight, my heart is full of pride and gratitude for what we've built together. Here's to more years of TCGS, to more games, more laughs, and to the unbreakable bond that we share. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Enjoy the evening, and let's continue to make the magic together. With all my love and best wishes, James, you've absolutely nailed it. Chat, you've absolutely nailed it. Chat. Who said that? Was that Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
nailed
said
it.
that
That was
about
chat.
50 minutes ago. So
Did you? Yeah, no, that was definitely chat. That was definitely chat GPT or whatever it's called. Honestly. Oh god.
Thanks for a lovely message, James.
Yeah, cheers to that, James, for the effort.
Do you know, for a moment when he sent me that, I genuinely thought he'd put some effort into the show. I genuinely thought he did something and he wrote something for the show. Fucking hell.
You wrote a great prompt on ChatGPT.
Everyone in the chat be like, I knew this was a bit. Like, yeah, it was, but not
in the way you thought.
Not one that takes any work.
No.
Sure, well, thank you, James. That's very emotional.
Yeah, and thanks to everyone that sent us lovely messages, man. Like 400 episodes is a bit of it's a crazy milestone for us. We're super excited. We're super proud to still be going. Yeah, it just feels like it's never going to end, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it certainly feels like it's never going to end.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt doesn't look too confident about that. Go on.
This is going to be the last episode of TCG.
Yes! Fucking yes! Firstly, Sean, more Patreon money.
Yep.
Secondly, no shit puns. Thirdly, we won't have to keep going. Matt, have you played anything again this week? No, I haven't. Okay.
Yeah, it's great, yeah.
However, it does mean us doing the edit every week.
We can work that out. I think the benefits outweigh the negatives, doesn't it?
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, good.
Who's going to do the tweets?
All right. Oh, we don't need to tweet. No one's on Twitter anymore. No one gives a shit.
What about the post on the threads?
Okay. Well, we'll get James to do that. He loves a bit of threads. I thought he'd been quite... Yeah, he's the only one that I know that actually uses threads for some reason. I don't get it. He's got like 12 followers on there. Right, should we get to news?
Yep.
Oh, shit, that's me, isn't it? Right, so the Helldivers stuff. Have you not followed any of this, Dave?
No, I haven't. I saw a message today saying, right, can you now make it positive on Steam, the reviews? And I was like, right, okay, so something's going on here. But it looked like it was coming from like the official account, but it wasn't.
No.
So it was like some news account.
Part of what's been really interesting about this. So basically, it was announced that so currently, Helldivers 2, you can play on PC, you can play on PS5, and you have the option of linking your PSN ID with your Steam ID, but that was optional. And yeah, basically they announced like, that's going to become mandatory. So I think it was mandatory for new players, and then for existing players, they were like, it's going to be mandatory from, I think it's like the beginning of June.
So like what they did with, it reminds me of what they did with the fucking Oculus. Do you remember that when Facebook bought it and they were like, right, you've got to have an active Facebook account. And it's like, hold on a minute. Right, so
go on.
Okay. No, go on.
And basically, like
did they give a reason why?
To my knowledge, no. The theories are it's either hoovering up valuable data from hundreds of thousands of players.
That's definitely
B, it might be like an information security thing, because technically you've got players who are like, you're holding data about players' purchases and stuff, right? But there might be some weirdness around, like if you're doing that on a PlayStation game, but it's not tied to a PSN ID, then there might be a bit shaky in terms of data protection and stuff. And GDPR is a fucking nightmare, so I couldn't comment on that. I don't know if that's true.
To turn around and say that we've had a massive increase in PSN accounts.
Or that.
To turn around to their investors saying, look at our growth. Look, this game has increased the amount of PlayStation accounts, PSN accounts.
So on Steam, Sony said, account linking plays a critical role in protecting our players and upholding the values of safety and security provided on PlayStation and PlayStation Studios games. This is our main way to protect players from griefing and abuse by enabling the banning of players that engage in that type of behaviour. It also allows those players that have been banned the right to appeal. So yeah, they're obviously saying it's for safety and security.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, my initial reaction to this was like, all right, whatever, a bit annoying, I guess. not entirely sure why people are so upset. However, then became immediately clear there are a lot of countries where you cannot have a PSN ID. And
really?
And those are countries where Helldivers 2 has been sold on Steam all this time. So basically, tons of people are like, right, well, obviously I've played it for more than 2 hours, so I can't get a Steam refund. So that is absolutely outrageous. And what was particularly interesting is that Arrowhead developers. So initially, I think the community manager was like on the Discord and was, by their own admission, a bit snarky and was like, "Well, go and leave us a shitty review then." I don't think that was the words he used, but go and leave us a negative review then. And then sort of later clarified, like, the way I said it wasn't right, but no, genuinely, our stance on this is if you're upset by this, then go and leave us a negative review, because saying stuff in our Discord isn't going to change anything. Reviews is, and people did. Over 100,000 people left negative reviews. And, obviously people are calling it review bombing. I mean, and technically it is. When people say review bombing, I tend to associate that with, like, people sort of just shitting on a game they've not even played because of some perceived flaw with it or whatever. Whereas this feels pretty legitimate to me.
This is like a legitimate use of it.
Yeah, it's like it's like a protest, is what you're saying, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I think it's one of those things where review bombing makes sense to call it that, but it's been associated with such negativity in the past and all that sort of stuff that maybe that's the wrong term in this case.
Exactly. So it dropped Helldivers 2 rating to mixed from whatever it was outstanding. Or I always forget what the top one is. The one above, very positive anyway.
Proper good.
Yeah. So all a bit of a disaster, and long story short, they have now rolled it back. And they said, sorry, don't worry about it. Sorry, in between all this, Steam did start offering refunds to players that were affected, like, and even if they played for more than 2 hours, which is a rare win from Steam, who generally seems to be quite ambivalent about anything. Basically Sony I've given in and said, it's not that happening anymore.
Do you remember when I said on top Sony is the worst Sony because they start doing shit that
like
pisses
this.
everyone off? This is kind of what I'm talking about. I mean, you've got to do it when you launch a game or you don't. Do you know what I mean? If you want to introduce this, and they'll probably do this going forward now. Sony games coming out on Steam, you will have to have a PSN account linked,
which is still annoying, but at least it's up front, right? Like the reason, because people are saying like, how is this any different from playing Xbox stuff on PC or whatever? And it's like, well, what the requirement is going in, whereas this was like, people have been playing this game since launch for months, and now have suddenly had this thrown at them. And as saying it in many countries, that means they would not be able to play the game anymore. It's a lot like the Meta Facebook thing when the Quest decided to change it so that you had to have one of those accounts to use your Quest. It sucks, man. Like you can't do that you can't do that after game launch, and it really puts a sort of sour note on what has been a massively successful game, and one that I still, I played it today, still really enjoyed my time with it. I want to play it more, but I think the next time I get a good old shift on that game is if it ever comes out for Xbox, because that's where my mates play their games, and they absolutely love it when it comes out. It's going to be so good. Yeah, man.
We'll see.
I think I announced today it's like the biggest selling game of 2024, which can't be. It's not a huge surprise, I guess, given how popular it is. But yeah, that's amazing. Again, not that it came from nowhere. We knew the previous one was good, but yeah, it's been a nice surprise, I think, for many people.
So I mean, you know what's really fun is that when a company comes out with a statement like, we're doing this for security, it's all about security, guys, and then when they say, no, we're not doing it no more, it's like, what? So you don't care about security now? Is that is this what's happening?
Turned out security is fine. It's not a problem. Yeah, actually,
I sort of feeling that actually maybe it was to just try and up the amount of people signing up for PSN. That was.
Do you remember when SimCity 3000 came out and that had like the forced online stuff?
I do, yeah.
And there was like weeks of them being like, no, it's integral to the way the game works. It's absolutely essential. It's got to be online. And it was like 20 minutes after it came out, hackers were like, "Yeah, we've sorted it. Don't worry."
Yeah. You had the same with Kinect. Do you remember? You cannot use an Xbox One without Kinect. It will not work. It's so integrated into the system, it will not work. And I remember that was Major Nelson saying that to Angry Joe, and then the next day they announced that you didn't have to buy the Kinect with it. It's like, oh my god, you proper sold him down the river there.
I mean, the UI was
phrase?
fucked from day one from that, wasn't it? It was so
but
designed
I
with that
still
in mind.
okay. I still think the voice command stuff was great, and I still think had they, instead of using Kinect, if they'd have integrated a speaker into the box or a microphone into the box, like your Google Home stuff, like
Your
Alexa,
TV,
all that stuff, I guarantee no one would have cared. It would have been a big hit because you could just walk in and go Xbox on, and Xbox record that and all that sort of stuff. Like all the stuff, it's mental that the new machines don't do that, in my opinion. We're used to talking to things in our house now. Like, just integrate it into the console.
Yeah, I'm kind of blown away. I haven't done that yet. And they did do it, but it's feel like it's too far advanced at the time, and then done in the wrong way.
Sony tried to do it. Remember, Sony tried to do it with the PS4, but you had to have like a microphone plugged in or something.
You can do it with PS5. There are voice commands for PS5, but
that's right. Yeah. But not really what we're looking for, is it? It's crazy. All right.
Yeah, Sony said, "We're still learning what is best for PC players, and your feedback has been invaluable."
So our PC players, mate, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Do they want more frame rate? Do they want high resolution? No one fucking knows anymore.
Right, some super shit news. Take-Two, who have been, making layoffs left, right, and centre for a good few months now, are reportedly shutting down Roll7 and Intercept Games, which has really shocked pretty much everyone. I mean, so Intercept Games were working on Kerbal Space Program 2, and Roll7, obviously, like
we've been massive fans of their games,
hugely beloved UK indie studio, just shut down out of nowhere. BAFTA winners, as far as anyone was aware, they were broadly profitable. They've never made a bad game, and just absolutely.
Yeah, sorry for those of you that don't know, it's Rollerdrome, Ollie Ollie World, the Ollie Ollie games. Not a Hero. There's just a bunch of really cool games there. Someone's got to pick them up. Like the talent from that studio,
you would think so.
You'd be gutted if someone didn't.
But they're not. So hardly anyone's investing at the moment. That's the thing, isn't it? Like,
that's the problem. Swoop in either, I would imagine. Well, they probably could, but like, are we really gonna jump in again, given recent stuff? But it's incredibly sad, and it's like what? I mean, I guess
there's been so many studios where we've talked about layoffs, and like it's always horrible, but being completely analytical about it. It's like, okay, games didn't sell or whatever, and you need to make money to pay people. Obviously, it's not always that simple, but certainly there have been examples where it's like, well, you can sort of see why this maybe decisions had to be made, as shit as it is. Whereas this is just like, what do you fucking want?
Yeah.
Like, I just, and and like people have pulled out sort of quotes from interviews and stuff where they're talking about like, it's great being part of, so they're part of Private Division, which is then owned by Take-Two, and they're talking about it's really nice having the stability of being owned by someone else and not having like they'd always survived prior to being owned by Private Division, but it was, for the founders, it was a constant sort of anxiety of like, balancing the books and everything. And it's like, they're like talking about how nice it is to not have that anymore. And now this has happened. It's fucking awful, man.
And it's not, it's bad enough anyway, but then in the context of Take-Two about to make billions from GTA 6 when it comes out next year.
Yeah. And because I don't know enough about how businesses of this size work, because obviously to me it's just like, well, surely keeping Roll7 going is fucking pennies to you. Why do you even care? Like, surely just let it carry on. But is that the mindset that it's like, oh well, this doesn't fit our portfolio, which is apparently GTA 6 and very little else now? Or is it, I don't know. I can't possibly imagine what.
No, you would have to. You would have to imagine. I know you say it's pennies to them, but you have to imagine that it isn't. Like that doesn't defend what they're doing. I think it is important to have someone like Roll7 in the industry, but for whatever reason they don't want to fund them no more. And I don't know if they make money. I don't know how much money they lose. I don't know if Roller-Drone was a hit. I don't know the financial side of things. All I know is that as a consumer, we've lost a development studio that we love. That's, you know what I mean. So going into the business side of things, it's hard to sort of really comment on, other than it's fucking horrible. And I wish these companies would stop just dropping companies that have sheer talent. Maybe look at other ways of keeping them around,
because it feels so short-sighted. Because more than ever, and I realize from an investment point of view, this is incredibly shaky. But more than ever, it feels like all the biggest games, like this year, all the biggest games have just been completely like out of nowhere. Like, holy shit, this is huge now. So it's like, if you own a studio like Roll7, just fucking let them get on with it, man.
Well, like, I mean, yes and no. I mean, we've seen what Microsoft have done with some talented studios when they let them get on with it. But I would hope this almost definitely didn't happen. But I'd hope that Take-Two would have sat down and looked at a way of making that studio sustainable. Whether it's, no, we want you to make 1 to 2 hour games that take this long to develop, and do you know what I mean? Like, we can make you a profitable studio if we keep to these practices. The talent is there to make those games good, right? We know that. Like, they've had too many good games out to not put your faith into. And the track record's been really good. Like, you'd hope that they look at that stuff and go, right, no, how do we get this talented studio and make their development processes sustainable? They're pretty sure that they didn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a really big assumption, but it's Take-Two. They're a huge company. I don't think they think about getting rid of studios like this in the way that they should. You know.
And like,
it sucks, man.
And we should mention as well, they just dropped $500 million on Gearbox as well. Like, fuck's sake, man.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I should also mention, so I think there are some redundancies at Private Division as well. It's all part of this. I mean, that's, if you're one of the survivors at Private Division, that must feel fucking bad at this point as well. So just grim.
Yeah. Maybe those people find jobs elsewhere because they're clearly talented. I'm just saying, I mean, these like people that have brought out BAFTA-nominated, BAFTA-winning games in the last year or so. So there's clearly a huge amount of talent there. So hopefully they land on their feet and find jobs quickly.
Yep. As an anecdotal aside, John Ribbins is one of the founders of Roll7. He came to, when we were doing Midnight Resistance, we did like a couple of weird little tournaments at Loading Bar.
Right.
He came to one of those, and I played Nidhogg against him, and he fucking destroyed me. I thought I was all right at that game, and I was humiliated. So cheers, John.
Shout out to John. Anyone that humiliates Sean is a friend of mine.
Well, it's not easily done, mate. No.
Most females that you went to school with. Sorry, God. That was just mean. That was uncalled for.
That's all right. Square Enix have cancelled a bunch of unannounced stuff, which they've basically apparently represents a $140 million loss, because they've got a new strategy where they're going to be, quote, more selective and focused, which is. Well, Dave's pulling a face. I don't blame him.
I just all their games seem the same to me. So it's like, how can you be more selective and focused?
Because the thing with Square Enix is they do, like, they're still putting out like a lot of weird, like, it's all, a lot of it is Final Fantasy-esque stuff, but not Final Fantasy, right? They're still doing, there was like a Triangle Strategy came out. There's been others that I've already forgotten the name of. They did like a farming one. They did like a fantasy farming one, and they've done some others, and all these ones. Foam Stars, banger. So yeah, they've been firing out loads of stuff that which hasn't been huge. So
is this because of Foam Stars? Now that you mention that, the first time they didn't release a game that was,
it was gonna bang,
essentially a JRPG, and they're like, well, no, fuck that. It's like when you finally decide to go into the sea and you put your toe in it and it's freezing, you go, nah, actually, I'll just sit on the sand. Like, I ain't going anywhere near that. I don't know. Okay. I mean, it sucks when you hear about projects being cancelled, because there's obviously a lot of people that are passionate about those projects, and that can't be a good way. I don't know how people handle that shit. I really don't. Like, you work on site for years, and go on.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I know it's sort of, in many ways, it's par for the course for the gaming industry, but also
you've got a list of titles that are being canned.
No, sorry, there's on gamesindustry.biz. There's a list of, which again I think is to your point, Dave, about like, well, what games do they put out? give an idea of the sort of pipeline the publisher hopes to cut back on. Square Enix's lineup of HD games for its last fiscal year included Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, Final Fantasy 16, Infinity Strash Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai, Star Ocean: The Second Story R, Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, Foam Stars, and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Okay. Foam Stars is already out. What are they talking about?
Yeah, that's last year.
Just what did the last fiscal year.
Oh, that's the stuff they released last year. Okay, so the outlier there is Foam Stars, isn't it? Let's face it. Okay.
So I assume also they're just ditching all the NFT ideas they probably had.
Yeah, they've gone quiet on that shit, haven't they?
So that needs to go.
Investments run out, I imagine.
Yeah, anyone still doing that is why? Yeah. Why would you bother?
Yeah. Right. Good news. Do you want some good news?
Yes, please.
The Xbox Games Showcase is definitely happening on the 9th of June.
Come on.
E3's
and
back,
then I
baby.
saw some people from the industry saying this is going to be a big one. It's like, well, it's fucking better.
It's like the third year running of like, Xbox really need a good year. This got to be a good year for Xbox this year.
Yeah. Okay.
So when is it?
It's 9th of June. It's going to be 6 p.m. British summertime. Apparently there's going to be an Xbox Games Showcase and then a redacted showcase, which isn't everyone just Call of Duty? Yeah.
That's fine. I'd rather know going into it. It's fine. Right. So we get new hardware. I think that will be announced in June.
What sort of new hardware? The one
I don't
without
know.
the disk drive, or
the £900 digital Series X.
I hope not. I hope it's slightly different. But I think they'll have a hardware announcement. I think they will be. Well, I mean, it's heavily rumored anyway. But Gears of War's probably coming back. I don't know. I hope they've got something to blow our socks off. I really do.
They really need it, didn't they, this year?
I do. I just feel sad at the moment because I love Xbox, and people know that I love Xbox, right? It's my most used console. I fucking love using that thing. I really want them to pull something out of the bag, and also I just want some cool shit to just. So you look at my PlayStation, I'm like, Helldivers and Spider-Man and all that stuff. And then I go over to my Xbox and go, come on, dude, you can do better than this.
Are we all right? I know I always make fun of people who expect Silksong at things.
Silksong will be there.
Right. Nailed on.
But Matt just still thinks it's a Nintendo title for some reason.
I don't know. I care about that game. So.
Well, the first Hollow Knight did. First Hollow Knight was out on PC for a long time and did really well, but it was the Switch version that really sent it into orbit, right?
That's right.
I can see why there would be a relationship with Nintendo.
Well, and it was originally announced on the Switch, wasn't it, on a Nintendo Direct? But then has since been shown off a Microsoft Game Pass.
And was confirmed as a day one Game Pass game. So
But this is exciting because we're finally getting more confirmations of things. So we've got like Day of Devs is confirmed for 7th of June. Obviously, Summer Game Fest also confirmed.
That 7th weekend June. Is packed, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got Xbox on the 9th, PC Gaming Show on the 9th. We've got the THQ Nordic Digital. That's not until the 2nd of August. So
weird.
Guess
Well,
they
E3's
listen
not
when
over
they're-
until
when
that
these things are happening.
So
Come on, Sony. Come on, Nintendo. Just do something that weekend. Just do something that weekend. That's all you got to do, man.
Yeah.
Just do something that weekend, and we can all get really excited. And we could call it whatever. We could call it, weekend of games. I don't know. We could call it something like that. Let's move on.
Yep.
Got him.
Oh, there's no more news.
There is no.
Oh, right. Okay, fine.
My word.
Let's get to what we've been playing, Matt. You've been playing a game. What the hell?
Computer game.
I played the game that Sean talked about last week, Return to Grace.
I think it was a couple of weeks ago, but yeah.
It was, actually, it was 2 weeks ago, because I went back and listened to what you said. Because, mostly because I remember at the time you said, well, you've got to be a fucking idiot to get a bad ending of this game. So, Return to Grace...
hold on. This is the game, because could I just say, this is the game, because I do need to ask you about something, actually. It's been sticking in my tooth. But this is the game... Sean talking about this is what made you go back to The Witness, right?
No. Botany Manor did that.
Botany Manor did. But you said something on The Witness. You've been raving about The Witness for years, but it sounds like you've barely played it when you were talking about it the other week.
I've been raving about it because I haven't played it much.
Oh, right. That must have just been in my head then. You know when you get like a perception of something in your head and maybe I just thought that was facts. Anyway, sorry. Return to Grace is a puzzle game, is it?
No, barely. It's a walking simulator narrative game. There basically are no puzzles. I mean, there are bits where it might seem like a puzzle is about to happen, but there's no challenge. You're just going from point to point to understand the story about these AIs and whatnot. But yes, just to Sean, it's only two or 3 hour game. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't taxing. I didn't do too much story wise, but I just really enjoyed the look. So you're in this. I guess like this space port. Is that what you describe it, Sean?
Yeah, it's like a colony or something. Isn't it?
Colony, yeah. But the decor of it is what I loved most. It is very kind of Art Deco, loads of really gorgeous like shiny surfaces. It's an indie game. I don't know how big the team is, but I think I absolutely love like the art style and the art direction they've gone for this game. Because it's not like loads of the environments are interactive. There are some interactive bits, but it's all very prescribed. But it's just the variety of places you go in just a short 2 to 3 hour game. I thought it was really, really well done. I finished the game, Sean. I didn't get a bad ending.
Okay.
I was really hoping I would, just because you said you had to be a bloody idiot to get a bad ending.
Or do it on purpose because you want to see it. But it's pretty clearly signposted, isn't it?
So it's a story about you basically going and finding out about this AI, but then you come into contact with other kind of AIs, and I think as Sean said, like some of these AIs, they're talking to you at various points of the game, but also there are other bits where new AIs are produced by combining some of the ones you're already talking to, and I thought that's really, really interesting, really, really well done actually. Where because I was like trying to second guess all the AIs, like who are they really? Are they actually someone else in the story and this, that, and the other? And you're never truly knowing if one of these AIs is on your side or not. They've all got different kind of characters, and some seem really, really, really helpful in your journey. And like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. And others are like, no, you shouldn't do this. And I'm like, well, why is it you're saying that to me? Are you trying to get me killed? But just a short 2 or 3 hour experience. I wouldn't say
it really doesn't sound like you like this, Matt.
No, basically, my thoughts are, it was fine, but it didn't. I wouldn't actually necessarily go out and say you've got to play this. It was I wait for Botany Manor. I'll say that much. Botany Manor was better. I mean, you play both of them, Sean. So did you prefer this to Botany?
No, I probably preferred Botany Manor purely because I like a puzzle. But yeah, I did really enjoy Return to Grace. I think what's interesting is like like some of the articles written around and stuff are like, oh, it's a tale about AI, and that's very current, isn't it? And it's like, well, yes and no, because it doesn't. The thing with the Grace AI in this is like it is like infallible, whereas the debate we're currently having with AI is not like oh, is it going to take all our jobs? It's like, well, actually, could it? We still don't really know. Like, it's getting better all the time. But do you know what I mean? There's always that element of like, yeah, but it's occasionally will still churn out unusable shit for whatever.
Yeah, a bit
reason.
like James's letter at the start of the show.
So yeah, so it's like it's not really a comment on anything that's happening right now, but I think it still like poses like interesting questions in and of itself.
Yeah, I think a different someone else maybe handling this material would have maybe linked a bit more to what we're dealing with today. It didn't push it far enough in that respect, and maybe I didn't want to tell that story. That's fine. They don't have to tell a story about AI that reflects modern day kind of issues with it, and is it good, is it bad? They don't have to, and you know, some will say, thank God I didn't want that in this game. I just want them to tell your own unique story. But I personally would have preferred it more if it had gone into a bit more of like, is it good, is it bad? Where are we with things? Instead, you know, it was fine. But yeah, I mean, it's a fine game. One thing I would say is that
just say you don't like it, Matt. It's
no, but I didn't not like it. I thought it was fine. That's like you can take out good or bad.
Not like it. Come on,
I didn't dislike it.
But you're doing that thing that when you talk about a game that you don't like, you do that thing where you talk like this, and you know, and even like with a game that you like, you've got stuff that you say that you like about it. Whereas this, I don't know, man.
It's not I can dislike it. I'm just like there's not a lot of incredibly positive things for me to say that like it does differently. But that doesn't mean you hate it. Something can be totally fine and average.
But you clearly didn't like it.
No, I think something could be totally average, and you're not like you don't. Matt,
you can do this, man. 400 shows. You can do this. You can finally say, like... I didn't like this game. It didn't click with me. I didn't like it.
It was so along the line. I was like, I didn't dislike it. I just thought, yeah, it's fine. Does it being fine mean you hate it or not?
No, no one's saying you jumping to hate. Why are you jumping to hate?
Okay. Well, yeah, but just because something's fine doesn't mean you dislike it. It just means it's fine. Are you saying if it's fine, that has to be a dislike or what?
Has there been a game that you've played recently that you dislike?
I've barely played any games, so also like I'm not playing games I dislike. Like,
is it worrying that like are you worried that like the devs are listening? What is it?
No.
What's the worry there? Why can't you commit to not liking a game? What's the deal?
Well, because I just don't dislike. I'm trying to think of a game I've hated, like really hated, or maybe I was not capable of that.
It's quite like in Matt's defense, there are very few like legitimately bad games.
I played quite a few bad games. I would like, but in my defense, Matt once said to us he never gets angry, and since I've seen him angry loads of times. So
that changed. That when I became a dad, something broke. In me. Before that, I genuinely hadn't. Yeah, it was a really weird sensation. Me to suddenly feel this whole new emotion called anger. Yeah. But yeah, I just
parenting is the best.
I generally don't for like I just dislike it. I just don't. I think actually, if anything, me saying it's fine is probably worse. I would rather it as like it would go on an emotional reaction. I'm like, I love this or hate this, or I dislike it or really like it. If anything, me saying yes, it's fine.
A big factor is like because one thing I really liked about it was just that it's so pacey and short and like asks very little of you. So that like, how could you dislike it? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so little. Like, if there'd been like a single like annoying puzzle, probably would have thrown me off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't even get even in the realms of tricky, really, puzzle wise. Yeah, I mean, I can see why someone would dislike Botany Manor more than this.
Because there are like roadblocks in that, whereas this is just completely. Smooth, like,
and I can see why the writing in Botany Manor would maybe great and maybe like the vibe and what it's trying to say, but this, it just flies through one and done. There you go. I was also wondering, I think the lighting like looked incredible at points. I wonder if this does use like ray tracing because some of the there's that bit you're in a few locations where things are so shiny and like there's some really gorgeous lighting and reflections. I'm like, I wonder if this uses ray tracing or it's just some like faked version, but I was really impressed with that.
I suppose it's quite because there's not many locations. They were probably able to just bake that.
Maybe,
right? But yeah, don't know. No, I liked it, but yeah, certainly it being short and easy was a factor in that. Which sounds like I'm saying, "Oh, it was bad," which I'm not. But I think, like there weren't any bits where I was like, "Holy shit, this is amazing!" But also, I think it definitely avoids a lot of things that could have been annoying. Right?
Not only that, and I want something that's to give it a bit more emotionally affecting, and this has no emotional effectiveness whatsoever.
Yeah.
But maybe I didn't want to do that kind of game. Anyway, this game is wank, and I give it 1 out of 10.
It was it was one of the I wasn't like full of praise for it, but it was what I wanted at that point.
Yeah,
I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Every now and then, there's just a game where you're like, yeah, I can deal with this. Like if Halibut come at the wrong time for me, I wouldn't have gone past an hour. But speaking of which, I completed that this week.
Oh, nice!
And yeah, I fucking loved it. I loved it, and it
landing.
I mean, it depends. Would it stick the landing with you based on what you've played of it? Probably not. I will say that a lot of the problems that you had with the conversations and the writing at the start of the game is justified.
Okay.
I will say that a lot of... How do I put this without completely spoiling it? The story is about Harold Halibut finding his way in the world.
Okay.
And when you realise how he was treated at the start of the game, it's quite effective in what it was trying to say. And I was they were asking in the chat how long was it. I think I put like 13 hours into it, 13 to 14 hours. Definitely has pacing issues. Definitely tries your patience throughout. Walking from place to place, and even though you know exactly where you need to go next, it's slow to get there, and you just think, why am I doing this? There are loading screens between every environment and stuff, and I mean, it's some people are going to really hate it based on that alone. It does something at the end that really made me laugh, which is pretty much stolen from another game and automatically lets me give it a 10 out of 10. I will mention that on the Game of the Year show if I deem it enough to be nominated for that. I will talk about that moment because it's fucking hilarious. I sent it to Sean and said, can you believe this game does that? Like, it's as if they've made it just for me. There was also what I really liked, and something that doesn't happen much in gaming, but when it does and it works, it's so good. Do you remember the end of Ocarina of Time?
I never played it properly. I never got into it.
Okay. What? You never? What?
We've not discussed it at all.
I don't think we have.
No, I've never been able to get into Ocarina of Time.
How far do you get?
I don't know. I think I've done like 3-4 hours tops. I know.
Do you know much about it and what it does?
No, not really. I feel like I know more about Majora's Mask just because people go on about it, but
you don't know about the time travel stuff.
No, well, I know. Yeah, it's called Ocarina of Time. It's
okay. Okay. I remember seeing the Temple of Time in that for the first time and throwing up because it was the most realistic thing I've ever seen in my life.
Then you got to the water temple and you thought, fuck this.
Yeah, the water temple was bad. Look, the water temple was bad.
We can all admit that.
We can admit that. But at the end of the game, it does this beautiful thing where it shows you all these characters that you've met along the way, and you see locations and you see characters, and you go, that's why this game is so good, because you're showing me a character and I know that person. I know that character. Well, in Harold Halibut, there's a scene very late in the game where you're walking down a hallway and characters are opening doors and you're seeing the characters that you've spoken to throughout the game. And it is that. And games, they don't do that often. And when they do and it works, it's so effective because you feel like you've been on this long journey and you're seeing all these characters and you're not just going, oh, I don't really remember him, or I don't really, I didn't really talk to that person that much. I'm walking past them and going, I know that character, know their name, know their motivations, know where they're at in their life. I know their impact on this story, and you see, but it goes on forever. Like you go, shit, there's that character, shit, there's that character. Oh my god, and what I love about Harold Halibut and what really reminded me of Last Stop is that it does some stuff in this game that you go, that's a fucking odd idea that you would never see in any other game, and they just did it, and it really worked. There's a scene where you're leaving a location. If you played Harold Halibut, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a bit where you're leaving a location for the last time, and what that game does with music, and I mean, like, for you, again, Sean, you'd watch it and go, but why does it need to be 10 minutes long, right? And I go, I don't know. But there is a bit where you're leaving a location for the last time, and I fucking adored it. Mm-hmm. I thought it was so good, even though there was camera issues and it was a little bit. The fact that they just went, right, oh, when he leaves for the last time, let's do this, and they went, okay, let's do that, and I loved it so much.
I will say, because that was like when I was playing it, I was waiting for the soundtrack to hit because all the trailers had really stunning music in them. But then, saying that sort of first hour of the game, like nothing.
Yeah, there's
which is fine if they're holding back on it. But I just that was something I was like waiting for.
No, there's some licensed music in it, and there's a few of the songs. One irritated the shit out of me because whenever we play FIFA with our mates, if someone does a good challenge, one of them goes Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, 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 like all the time, right? On while we're playing FIFA. And that song is in the game. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I can't get away from that really annoying man. Boy. Chris. I can't get away from him. And now he's infecting my Harold Halibut. But it does some stuff with other music. Look, I loved Harold Halibut. And if someone comes up to me and says, you love this is fucking dreadful, I'd go, okay, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to you.
Again, but like I don't know
why it works.
Because of the nature of the game. Yeah, like I've no desire to like tell people they shouldn't like it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know.
I wish I did as well.
Because it's so subjective, right? Like it doesn't do anything completely wrong. There's some subjective stuff about the pacing, which I get, and there were times where I was kind of like, this bit is dragging. There's a whole fucking espionage bit in the middle that really could be cut down or even dropped, even though it's quite a pivotal. I'd love to talk to you about it off the show, Sean, just about some of the ideas that were in it that really worked. Because I do think it had some really interesting ideas. I just don't blame people for putting it down after an hour. And I've had several people might message me saying, yeah, about an hour in and I'm not really digging it. Should I keep going? No, because that pace and that tone lasts for 12 to 13 hours. So if you're not enjoying it now, you will not enjoy it 12 hours down the line. But that was Harold Halibut. I booted up Fallout 4 because, like everyone, I'm a statistic now. I'm an actual statistic. I cannot believe this game is 10 years old. Like, it looks 10 years old, and it plays 10 years old. Isn't it? I looked up today, and it was like 2014. This game come out. Or was it 2016?
Fucking hell, that
Fallout 4 release date. 2015, November 2015. So 9 years old. 9 years old. Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
That is mad.
So this game come out because I was like, I remember playing it, but I want to hear me talk about it. Right? I mean, like, because I remember James and I were talking about it a lot when it had come out. And I went back and tried to fucking find the chat we had, but it was pre-TCGS, this game. So I was like, oh wow, okay, this was definitely between Joypod and TCGS. I cannot for the life of me find my save or any evidence that I've played this game. Really? So I downloaded it on Xbox and I went to load my save because that's what you do in 2024, and it wasn't there, and I was like, what the fuck? And I looked at the
on
achievements.
PlayStation, did you?
Well, this is it. I looked at the achievements. No achievements, right? So I got to the bit where you're out of the vault, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll play this on PlayStation. All I wanted to do was load up my save and just go around to some of the locations and stuff. Downloading on PlayStation, 0 trophies.
Oh.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, no save. And I'm like, I can't remember what I played it on, and it's really fucking frustrating me because I wanted to just have a little look around, and now I've done the intro twice in the space of like 4 or 5 days. The game is perfect for Portal. For those of you wondering, it's definitely perfect for Portal.
It must be an Xbox you played it on originally, but maybe that was before the...
Yeah, I'd have thought. But then I was PS4 back then. Like, PS4 was sort of my main console, especially for single-player games.
That is weird.
So maybe not. Look, I've had a lot of problems with the story in Fallout 4. What I didn't have a problem with was just the themes and the idea and the presentation and everything. Like that game, I love the idea behind it probably more than I do the story and the characters that I meet along the way. However, there was that aspect of Fallout 4 where I was like, right, I just want to go to that point in the map and see what's there. And not always, but a lot of the times there was a town or a character there that you could talk to that get a quest from and stuff like that. And I spent 2 hours on it and thought, fucking hell, they just shouldn't have done Starfield. I know we rag on it all the time, but they shouldn't have done it and just focused on Fallout 5. And I'm pretty sure they're looking at this now, and the fact that the TV show has given such a new light to Fallout and just gone, shit, imagine if we launched Fallout 5 like this year. It would be massive.
Not if it's a disaster like Starfield.
Well, yeah, but... See, Starfield was bad.
What if it done more damage to the brand than they'd want?
I don't know if it would.
What if it's another Fallout 76 situation with the bags and...
That's true. The Fallout 76 was a problem. I've got no interest in going back to that game. But Starfield, there was some chat from... Who's the guy? Howard.
Todd Howard, yeah.
There was a pretty clumsily headlined article where
I don't think that was clumsy. I think that was intentional. But
but you're yeah, no, absolutely. So what was the headline? Was something like
basically people didn't like Starfield because it's too different to our...
Yeah, it's too different to our normal stuff. And we were saying, like, well, obviously, the Starfield was just another Fallout game. But when you read into the article, the point that he was making was actually people went into it thinking it was going to be a big open world game like Fallout was, and it wasn't. And I sat and played Fallout 4 and went, oh, yeah, no, that was totally missing from Starfield. And that's part of the reason why it was so bad. I think I said at the time, when we were talking about Starfield after it come out, all of these things could be happening on one planet. Like the different zones you were going to, that could be one planet. That would have been better. Or one solar system. If it was scaled down to one solar system and you could dart between the planets, like, and it felt more open, that would have been the way to do it. You know what I mean? But obviously the scope was too big, and they were not. I think what happened with Starfield is that they had this massive scope for a game, and it was in development for God knows how many years, and they couldn't get anywhere near the original scope, and it got scaled down, and to the point where the whole original premise was just lost within it somewhere. Fallout, you don't get that. Like Fallout, you know what you're going into, and yes, I had problems with some of the story aspects of Fallout. I thought it was really surprising that you were in and out of the vault without actually seeing life in the vault in Fallout 4, because that was such a huge part of Fallout 3. But then, you know, there are missions where you go down to other vaults and discover stories down there and stuff like that. It reminded me that actually I fucking love Fallout, and I could, if they announced if they announced Fallout 5, I'd be excited. If Microsoft thing this week, they said, right, Fallout 5's coming, that would be something to make me sit up and go, do you know what? Yeah, I'm up for that. I'm definitely up for that, because the style, the idea behind Fallout is a really good one. And I'm probably ready for a new Fallout game, one that actually looks a little bit better, preferably drop some of the terrible writing from Starfield, learns lessons from how bad that was, creates cities where people aren't just standing around like looking at you really weirdly, and they actually release a decent Fallout game, I'd be up for that.
So have they announced Fallout 5 Sky? I know they've announced Elder Scrolls, and it's going to be, 50 years away.
No, it's Elder Scrolls, their next one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's any
and they
any
take
chance
a
of Fallout 5.
long time to make games. So even if Fallout 5,
you wouldn't believe it. But there's also this weird shit about like the mods in Fallout 4. Like obviously they added mods after I'd completed it and stuff. On the console side of things, you go into them, you don't know what you're supposed to be downloading. Some of them are like, all women who are in bikinis, and you're going, what is this on there for? And then you go onto like a YouTube video, best mods, to try and see if I can make it play better or whatever. And they're all like, there's a bikini one that's really good. If you want to download that, that's the best one. And you're going, okay, I'll probably avoid that. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time in Fallout 4. I just wanted to be reminded of that game. It was a shame that I couldn't find my save, because it would have been nice to, that is go weird. Back and see something.
Have you finished the TV show?
I am on episode. I think I've just done 5, so I've got 3 left. Okay. I think.
Yeah. No, we finished it this week. It's fucking great.
Yeah, I love it. I'm loving it so much.
Like the last episode is just a perfect season finale. It's like I've been saying to people during the week, like, as someone who liked the originals, Fallout 3 was okay, liked New Vegas, and then sort of lost interest since. Like, watching that show made me feel like, I hate when people talk about fandom, right? But I was like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking Fallout fan. Of course I am. What a stupid thing to doubt. It's just really, really good show. Just like reverent to the games, like in ways that make sense and are cool if you're paying attention, but you don't need to know about the games. Like, it's just good telly in its own right.
I think a lot of care has been put into making it feel like a plot from a video game as well.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, yeah. I think about like the premise of the plot. A character gets wrapped up into a situation where she's got a special item that she needs to get from A to B with a lot of problems in the way. And like, that is pure. I mean, it's obviously more linear, but have
you seen that people have figured out like her experience points per episode and stuff like that?
There was a line recently on the one that I just watched. There was a line that I could not work out why it was in there, and it was when the guy from the Brotherhood of Steel speaks to the main character. That I'm terrible with names, all right? And goes, yeah, well, you come down here with no armor and no health. And I thought, what?
Did he say?
Why has he said no health? Yeah, he does. Unless I misheard it, I'm pretty sure I didn't. He turns around and goes, well, what do you expect? You come in here with no armor and no health. And I was like, that's really odd. What are we doing that for? Please don't do that. Like, I like it that, it feels video gamey and it's really in keeping with Fallout, but don't say stuff like that. Maybe, someone's saying maybe they said no help. Yeah, that might be it. Maybe I misheard it. Maybe I misheard it. If I did, then it says more about me than it does the writers of Fallout.
But it is just, like I might have said this the other week, but like, explaining to New how surreal it is watching that TV show, and when the logo appears, and I'm just like, that's the logo from a game I played when I was 13.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I think I said before, like Tim Kane, who worked on the originals, has been like, he has a YouTube channel and he's been talking about this stuff. So like, he was invited to like the premiere and stuff. It's kind of weird that like his and other names aren't in the credits somewhere, because obviously so many of the concepts and stuff in the show are their ideas. They're not Todd's. But whatever.
Right.
Like they've been acknowledged, and they clearly have a good relationship with Todd and Bethesda and stuff. It's just really nice him talking about the show and saying like, he's getting messages from people saying like, oh, like there's like this one bit where this one character like walks a certain way and looks loads like the animations from this Fallout character or whatever, and like, was that an intentional reference? He's like, well, I don't know. All I do know is that apparently they've said like loads of like even like the extras and stuff who are hired for the show are fans of the games. He's like,
right.
You can't rule out that the people have gone, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I'm going to do the
walk.
animation.
Yeah. I like. Also, I like the fact that, like, after watching The Last of Us, Jo loved it, but she also hated the fact that I knew everything that was going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas this does not follow the plot of any of the Fallout games. So none of the characters really, is it? I don't. Apart from the dog, there's not many characters in it that are in the.
No, I don't think they're all original.
New.
Yeah.
So I think Jo likes the fact that I'm not. I don't know that. There was Cuthbert or whatever, but he wasn't called Cuthbert in this. But you know,
it's pretty amazing. We've gone from years of
Cuthbert's a robot.
Well, bad.
Robot
years of really bad video game adaptations. And now, in recent years, we've had Last of Us. Incredibly well done. Won us awards. We've got this, which is doing incredibly well.
Yeah. Fallout, you did well. You know, Last of Us, you did well. Any others? Any others coming out?
Do you think this is just a sort of
Codsworth, not Cuthbert? Sorry, Ace of Jason just corrected me. Right, Codsworth. Okay, sorry, not Cuthbert.
Is it just that now, like, people who grew up playing the games are now like in their 30s and 40s and are making television?
Yeah, they're in charge.
I think that's definitely part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely part of it. I think video game adaptations to film and TV were made by people that didn't play video games. I definitely think that's part of it. And now they're made by people that do play video games. Yeah, I think that's a massive shout there. Or at least people that even at like the senior level that are overlooking these projects. Because even that Mortal Kombat film that came out recently, we watched that around John's. I fucking had a whale of a time with it. I mean, don't get me wrong,
really good fun. Yeah,
it wasn't good, but my word, did we have a good time watching it? So, yes, that is what I've been playing this week. Sean, you got a nice long list for us.
They're mostly short ones. Walkabout mini golf put a new course out, as they do, seemingly like once a month at this point. This one's Venice, where I've actually been in real life.
Is it good? I've heard nothing but bad things about going to Venice. It's like the people that go and see the pyramids and they just go, it's horrible. You get hounded from the moment you arrive to the moment you leave.
It's aggressive. And it's fucking expensive. Like, keeping yourself fed without spending a fortune is hard work in Venice. But
I heard
also,
it stinks. Does it not stink?
So we went in I think it was like November we went. But because it's it's still warm enough, you're still just wearing a t-shirt in the evenings and stuff, but it doesn't smell as bad.
Did you go in smelly season, David? Is that what you did?
No,
it was cheap. The tickets were so cheap, it was crazy.
No, I mean, it looks like fucking wicked, that place. Like, it looks incredible.
Yeah, because everyone's like,
says they hated
everyone's like, oh, but all the museums and stuff are so expensive, and I'm like, well, then just walk around the city and just be like, what the fuck?
Absolutely stunning. Yeah,
I quite like to go there.
Yeah, it's great. Just do it.
So this is not a licensed IP; it's just the place.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned licensed IP, because there's a couple of like major landmarks not in this.
They couldn't get the license for Venice.
Well, I don't know. I can only assume there is like a weird licensing thing around it.
Is there water in it?
There is water.
It's Venice, but it's basically like a massive car park because they couldn't get the gondolas.
I'd love to know. I'd love to know what the ruws are behind that.
Yeah,
because in my head that should be public. Like, you should be able to put any building in any game or whatever. But I know Spider-Man had trouble with certain buildings in New York.
Really?
Which is
like the Chrysler building. That's often
the Chrysler building's not in it, and
isn't the Hollywood sign is a fucker as well? Like, you can't include that without spending a lot of money.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah. So like San Marco Square is not in there. Like the Rialto Bridge, so like the famous bits of Venice are not in it. That being said, who cares, right? It looks and feels like Venice. It's really pleasant to be in. It's certainly one of the less, like with Walkabout mini golf courses, they seem to sort of oscillate between doing like really mad ones and then ones that are just like, here's a nice place. And there's no gimmicks or anything. It's just like really nice bit of golf in a nice environment. It's one of those. So that I wouldn't necessarily like if you're a lapsed player, this isn't like a holy shit, you have got to play this one. But again, it's £3. It's really nice. What do you want? And found half the missing balls. Did the riddle. The riddle's really nice. It's like you're finding someone's like journal where they've done sketches. So you're looking at it being like, oh, right, shit, that's been drawn from like this perspective. So that's then where you need to go to get the next journal. Loved it. Really nice. Sorry, Looper's whining. Can we take a break? I'm just going to go see what he fucking wants. Won't be a minute. Sorry.
Any questions in the chat? The little chat.
This is your time to get your questions in where you can't normally ask us anything, but now, for
Have
one
you
night
not
only,
messaged John yet about the result?
Oh yeah, 4-0.
Yeah, can you whack something in the?
Pathetic. I was thinking, like, I don't know what kind of Palace are going to turn up tonight. I don't know what kind of Man United are going to turn up, but turns out Man United turned up and as did Palace. Hilarious. TCS can update. Yeah, still can't find a venue. We haven't really been pushing it as much, Phil.
We've not been looking. It is bad. We've just been too busy at the moment, but we'll look.
Yeah, I do definitely want to get something nailed because time is running away from us once again.
We've got the group. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want Joe to look at it anymore now that we're moving house. So
yeah, maybe we take over, but still in the final venue is actually going to say yes.
My audio keeps going a little weird every so often. What does that mean? What do you mean by weird?
Yeah, I noticed that a little bit as well. Just,
what weird though? Like laggy or?
No. Just kind of in and out. I guess I'll describe it. It's
Test.
Yeah, it's very, very. It's not permanent. It's just few and far between.
Oh, that's fucking worrying. Well,
sure
hopefully it's not
fine.
on the thing. Yeah, but it's either a mic issue or an internet issue. If it's an internet issue, fine. If it's a mic issue, that's not fine. Because very infrequent. Okay, well I'll listen to it back, but just changed room.
Mocktail Soup, have I moved? Mocktail Soup, you've really got to have watched the Patreon bonus show for March to really know what the fuck's happening behind me now. Yeah. We can't hear you, Sean.
Hello.
We can't.
Sean, has my audio been weird throughout the show?
Whose audio, sorry?
Mine.
Occasionally it's been doing like a weird sort of phasey.
What, like I'm fading out?
No, like as if there's like two tracks and they're going out of sync.
Oh, right. So that won't be this side.
So
that'll be fine.
No, you'll be fine.
Right, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be something video related.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. So at least it's not got shit.
Yeah.
That scared the life out of me because I thought my audio would have been fucked then. But okay, fine.
I think. Shall I carry on?
What's that little white bit at the bottom corner? Is that your bed? Is that the end of your bed?
Me? Yeah, that's my bed there. Yeah.
Yeah, I got my bed there. Look.
Yeah, look, we've both got beds.
I wonder, that's a genuine worry for me that when we move, where am I going to podcast?
Yeah, but then you'll have more
podcast?
space to do it, right?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the worry is that I wouldn't want to do it upstairs in my bedroom because I will be sharing a wall with probably someone else's bedroom.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and so I'm a little bit fucking worried.
You have to get one of those incredible, like, outdoor insulated shed things.
Ben's asking what the Hot Wheels thing is. It is indeed a metal sign.
We got a metal sign today. Can I show you what it is? Because it's amazing. Ready? Right, this was my brother-in-law bought this. One sec.
Ben actually needs to sort that out.
I didn't get a sign today.
No. Well, you fucked that up, haven't you?
No, I wish I knew about this, but I'm unfortunately new.
Dave's buzzing about this. Can't wait.
Yeah. What's he gonna say?
I just thought this is the most amazing thing someone's bought me recently. Ready? You see that?
Beware.
Beware
of Charlie.
How good is that?
That's actually on his little his door. Bedroom door, is it?
Probably. I don't know. Yeah. Probably in the front door. Fucking love that.
Our neighbours, on the sort of the wall between our gardens, right, which you can see from the alleyway. Yeah. They put up this awful like beware of the dog thing. It's awful. It's just I hate it because like that stuff. Because like if someone's gonna fucking steal your dog, they look for signs like that. Oh, good, they've got a dog that's like a fucking fighter, right?
Oh, right.
And just and basically have announced that they're selling, and I'm just like, when are we taking this down? Then when's that going?
You should probably pack straight away, shouldn't you? You should pack that sign straight away.
Yeah, there you go. Put that's in your suitcase.
Yeah, go done. Get the fuck out of it.
Take your job. Right, sorry.
One less thing for you to do.
Yeah, where were we?
Walkabout has been done.
Another game I played this week. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's Titanfall 2.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
Isn't
went out
it?
first round 2016 game of the year. That one.
It's
So,
cute
yeah, that was funny,
like,
wasn't it?
It's cute that people are still trying to make first-person shooters when we got the best one years ago, and there's no need now. You don't need to make any more.
That whole battery
incredible.
shit. I'll never forget when I announced that. Oh, we're doing a shit with battery where you got to steal batteries and you're like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you fucking? And then you play it and you're like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. It's so mad that
like. So I mean, I've just played like a bit of the campaign again. I've done maybe 2 hours of it. I don't know. The fact that it's so like it holds back on you stomping around in the robot just shooting people, right? Which it does have, but it doesn't just go like, right, you've got the robot now. This is what you do for the rest. The fact that like you get a taste of that, and then there's a bit where you're forced to separate.
Yeah.
And then when you rejoin, it's still not you get in the robot and you shoot loads of people. It's you're in this like really tough combat situation. It's really, really, really tough. And then it's when all that sludge is like coming down, and you've pressed a button to make it stop, but it takes a while to take effect, and your Titan's on the other side of it. So you're just proper struggling, like all these enemies coming at you, and then eventually this timer runs out, and your robot's got line of sight on what's going on, and just all of a sudden just fucking missiles and just gunfire, just mowing everyone down around you, and it's just like, hey, it's PT, my boy. It's just so good, man. Like it's absolutely unreal.
I love calling one down and just waiting and just hoping that no one sees it and gets the jump on you. I love, I love the fact that when you're outside of your Titan and you see a Titan near you, your instant reaction isn't, I'm dead then. It's always like, I can get out of this situation. Yeah, I can get out of this. It's so clever.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, that game, so good. Don't want to play it again. I played it. Already played it. So it gives a shit about the future of that video game.
Speaking of playing things and moving on, I tried Hellblade this week.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Because I've never played it before, and obviously the new one's out soon, and I'm curious.
I was curious too. I nearly downloaded this.
Yeah, I would like to get it done before the second one, but
I don't like it.
Okay, why not? Female protagonist, was that
it?
I just like the audio stuff is really cool with the whispering and everything. I mean, it got a bit annoying after a bit. I just don't. It's just not. I don't know. It's just not an enjoyable game. The combat is so simplistic. It's unbelievable. I don't really know that. Maybe I don't know.
What do you mean? What is the combat? Are you shooting? Are you fighting? What are you doing?
It's melee combat.
Okay.
So you got a sword, and what happens, right, is an enemy comes at you. They do a really obviously telegraphed attack. You press the dodge button to dodge out of the way of the attack, and then you just hit the attack button until they're dead, Dave.
Oh, okay.
Then you just do that, and then there'll be maybe
there's no parry.
There'll be maybe 5 enemies that are exactly the same who come at you one by one, and you do the same thing to every single one of them.
Okay.
And they're all gone, and you can carry on with your life.
Does it feel good, even though it's simplistic?
No.
Okay. So it's simplistic and doesn't even feel satisfying.
Yeah, pretty much. And I know James mentioned this. The perspective puzzles, gosh, they get old very quickly.
Is that the one where there's like lots of bits of a circle hanging around? You've just got to stand in the right area and look at the circle. Is that what
I quite enjoyed it normally. What didn't you like about them?
Matt, you don't dislike anything. We had a whole section of this show.
Well, what's wrong with that, David?
This is not true. Be yourself.
No, that is true. I wish I hated
true.
everything. That'd be way more
No,
interesting.
no one's asking you to hate everything.
Yeah.
This is why do you always go to the extreme? Like, what is?
Because that is me, unfortunately.
No, I wish you would. I wouldn't say you love everything. Well, I don't want to hate everything. Wouldn't? There's some middle bits.
Yeah. I need to work on that. I'm too all or nothing. Just talked to my therapist about that. Actually.
So yeah, part of me was just like, I can't believe this is it. After all the things I've heard about the game, I was just like, it's just quite.
I think it's one of those. I think it's one of those games. My feeling I got from it, and from the conversation around it when it came out, and remembering I didn't play it, so I don't know if it's any good or not. But when it felt like a surprisingly good game, but not one that was supposed to be as big as the reputation it got afterwards, right?
Yeah.
I think it was one of those games where it was like a 6, 7 out of 10, but people really enjoyed that 6 or 7 out of 10. So it got spoken. It become a bit of a cult thing. Whereas this next one needs to be a big game. It needs to be brilliant. And it would be interesting to see if it's more like the first game or they've taken the next step. Whether it's, a repetition of what they've done before, or whether it's Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 2. Because you got to remember, I can't imagine people going back to Uncharted 1 now, considering how the reputation those games have got, and just going, really? They offered this? Because Uncharted 1 was just a bit of a slog. It was a bit slow paced. It's just at the time it come out of nowhere, and it was, it felt like a step in the right direction rather than a big step forward. So Hellblade 2 needs to do a lot. I'm not saying it's going to do it, but you've got to hope that it's not just a shitty action melee based game. It
needs to do a lot anyway. It's one of the big releases from Microsoft this year, and it has been hyped for a while, so it needs to do well.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it'd be lovely for the Xbox exclusive trend to be booked by Hellblade 2 if this could be what the amazing one. Yeah, if this was like
a game that gets over 8 out of 10. Yeah,
that'd be something, nice. Wouldn't it? Anyway, so after trying and failing to get into that, I've been saying for a bit, I'm struggling to get into stuff. I feel like I want something with a good story and like good production values and stuff. And then I remembered Alan Wake 2 has been sat there this whole time, wondering why I've not been playing it. The answer is because I'm scared. Finally gone back to it, and I've put another few hours in. So I've beaten I forgot. Is it Nightingale, the big nude fella? Done that bit. I gather that's basically as scary as it gets.
Yeah. It starts off very scary. There are other bits, but that's kind of the height of it, really.
Yeah. So done that. Managed to do it during real life daylight hours, so it wasn't as spooky, and it was fine.
Time for it.
Yeah. So now I can crack on, and I'm properly intrigued to see where it's going. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Are there settings about turning some scary mode off, or did I imagine that?
Glad you mentioned that, Matt. So it's supposed to reduce the severity of those like jump scares. Where it's just like bang and there's a scary face on the screen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, them bits. Yeah.
I've enabled that. I've like, yes, please reduce that. I'm a frail boy. Does absolutely fuck all as far as I can tell. I'd love to see a comparison, because I enabled it and then I was like, right, and then got down to Cauldron Lake and then bang, big scary face. And I was like, fuck, that's horrible. That's still horrible. And still made a loud noise. And I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah, I hate
where it asks you if you're sure. I fucking hate that in games, where you change an option in a game and back out, and it says, "Do you want to save these changes you made?" Why would I ever say no?
It's like, no,
why would I ever say no?
I want to go through the options menu and just see what it feels like to select these options.
Yeah,
and then
to change everything.
No. Actually, no. Do you ever do that thing where you like go into someone's BIOS settings on the computer and just be like, "Oh, fucking hell, change this, change that," and then make sure they're not looking when you go, "No, save."
No, I've never done that.
All the time I do that.
Yeah, it's like a late 90s PC nerd.
As someone who hates jump scares, none of them actually ever got me, which is weird. I don't know if it's something like the... Yeah, I don't know what it was about them, but none of them I was like, oh my god. So
I think you learn to anticipate them, right? There's like certain scenarios where you're like, okay, there's going to be a jump scare here because I'm in an obviously spooky place.
Yeah, I did generally find the bits in the woods where it's all pissing down and there was a tiny bit of chasing maybe, but yeah, I that was generally very tense. But yeah, the first boss. I mean, there are some chasey bits in bosses, but I managed to survive it. But I think generally it's got a very unnerving feeling across the whole game. It was actually the perfect level of scariness for me actually, because it wasn't too much. You know, the game itself kept me going, but if it had done much more than that first section, maybe I would have like dreaded going back to it. But yeah, it was
I think like it's interesting doing like the saga bits. It's kind of hard to be scared when she's just like, "Oh man, this is my first cult case. This is exciting. I love this." I'm so gung ho about the whole thing. And then when you get to the Alan bits, it's like, well, I know none of this is even real, really. So
yeah,
it's fine, I guess.
And the worst thing you really see is Alan is like the kind of like the ghosty things that would maybe kind of like rush onto you, but again, they're kind of weird ghosty spectre things. So who cares? So you can stick with it.
Everyone in the chat's like, haha, Sean's more scared than Matt. I have always been completely open about.
Yeah, no, that is a thing. Yeah, that is a thing. That's what it is. Like Matt went on stream and played PT and was, for want of a better phrase, a massive pussy about it, screaming every 5 seconds, and it was embarrassing. But Sean and I wouldn't do that. So Matt is way braver than us, like 100%.
Like bravery is doing things you are scared of. It's not like...
yeah. Whereas Sean and I are like, nah, all right. Yeah, you should do a scary game, Dave. No, I don't want to. I'm too scared of it. Whereas Matt did it, so you know what I mean. Yeah. Cannot.
And Resi too.
All right, don't show off.
And drunk loads of milk. Dave was too scared to drink milk.
That's true.
I just don't like milk. Like if it was water, I would do water.
I mean, the thing is, I like milk, and I still regretted that decision.
Oh, yeah. I'll have another shot. Frankly, I want to have another go.
Well, you and James can go ahead. Maybe we'll do it when you get the tattoo done. You can.
You never do it. You never do it again.
Me, no.
What if it's if Outlaws gets 85%, 85? What if we decide who gets the tattoo with a milk race?
But the odds once again is heavily stacked in James's favour.
James will win.
Yeah, James is.
But
he's allergic to
if
milk.
He gets 85. All that anticlimax.
Wait, is James allergic to milk?
Yeah, do you remember? He said like afterwards, he went, "And I'm allergic to milk," and we went, "What?" And yeah, I come out in rashes.
Fucking
went, well, why did you do the milk race then? He went, "Oh, I just thought." Oh. So okay, that sounds like him. Right, so sorry. I know we've already had a break, but I really need a wee.
It's all right. Loop is still being a wanker, so I still need to solve that riddle before we carry on anyway. So. Won't be a minute.
Okay, well, this is your opportunity, everyone, to ask me the questions that I would never answer anywhere else. Yeah, I'd love to do another milk race. Shame, really. But I'll probably suck, but let's hope the internet doesn't go down this time. Because I went in with quite high expectations last time, and because I love milk. Can you move in with me? No, Silent Touch, you can't. Because I've only got 2-bedroom flat. So yes. Yeah, Mocktail Soup, you have missed a massive story. So if you want to find out why I am where I am, then I'm afraid you have to listen to the Patreon bonus show. Can you have a massive buakasha? Is that allowed? Would I have to do the finger thing? Because I did one the other day and I realised I've got broken wrists and that kind of hurt. But no, I'm not going to do a buakasha because I'm not sure if people are allowed to do it these days. What else? I mean, I'll do most things, just not that. Quick before Dave gets here. Okay, you got 30 seconds. Oh, he's back now. Unbelievable.
Booyakasha.
Oh, okay, you did do it. See, there you go, Dean.
It works.
Wrist update. I'm officially discharged from physiotherapy, if you wanted to know that. Can I do a handstand? Probably could do a handstand, but I'm not going to do it against...
When am I coming up to see you? You don't seem to be
only talking as that.
Date.
Yeah, I'm very busy these days, David, but yeah,
we are seeing each other in a couple of weeks. I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, so
you don't seem as excited as I am.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited. It's just lots of things going on at the moment. Yeah, so discharge from physiotherapy, discharge from consultancy. That's all good. My wrist is still broken, but it's getting there. Still swollen, which is I can't believe that. It's going to take months apparently for swelling to go down, but whatever. Yeah. I've got yeah. So I went. So my mum broke her wrist like years ago. She slipped over Morrison's on a grape. It's all good. I think she got a payout. And when I saw her for my granddad's funeral recently, she goes, "Oh, have you got his putty? Did they give his putty for grip?" And I was like, "I don't think I haven't told you about putty, so I guess my grip is fine." Anyway, skip forward to me going to the physio on Tuesday, and I was like, my mum said about his putty, and I'm like, "Oh no, I don't think you've got an issue, but let's give it a go." So I had this like grip machine, and I used my right hand. I'm left-handed, but my left hand was the one that's broken. Squeezed it 3 times, and I got a score 38. You basically have to squeeze it and hold it as much as you can, and I got a score 38. I was like, well, what's the left one? 14. So turns out I don't have the grip I once thought I did with my broken wrist. So now I need to buy, there's those little contraptions that you can get for you get one as well now.
That you saw in American shows, like the boss would always be using one of those.
So I'm going to have a really ripped left wrist. Do I do anything differently post wrist break? No, not really anymore. I've gone back to how it was. I mean, if I don't do my exercises, which I've got to do every day, I really notice it. I didn't do them for like 10 days, and my wrist really ached, and I felt...
How's the wanking?
Trying to minimise it these days, actually. So, but I'm sure it works. What else? Where are we? Any other questions? Let's not get into that. Actually, no, do I? No, let's not. I was going to say, is that a bonus show content? It's not, actually.
I've got a headache from doing that.
Sean's back.
Hello.
All right. Okay, that's what we've been playing this week. Should we get onto questions?
No. Oh, yeah.
No?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we should probably get onto questions.
If you want to send us a question, go to...
Every time you say that, right, and you say that every week, right, it really sounds like you're going to go, if you want a lot of chocolate on your biscuit.
I literally had that in my brain.
I did that once.
Yeah. If you want a lot... Oh, what a tune.
I think basically that's happening in my head as well, and I'm sort of resisting it. tcgs.co/dear TCGS. Maria Mendieta has done that. Dear TCGS counterfeit carts. The word unplayable serves as unhelpful YouTube speak for a game that the reviewer finds disagreeable in some ambiguous way. Food is rendered inedible if, for example, it contains harmful elements, such as poison or used needles. Yet, what actually makes a game unplayable is not straightforward. What have you declared? Oh, sorry. When have you declared unplayable? Fucking hell, doing a Matt Murray here. When have you declared a game unplayable? Keep up the peerless work, sincerely, Maria.
I'm physically unable to do that.
No, for me, it's when the frame rate is so fucking shit.
Yeah, like actually, like headache-inducing. Like
what I've never understood.
Screen tearing. That's the killer.
Screen tearing's really bad, and
that's
crashing
not as
to
bad these days with like.
Oh yeah, no, it's
no. I mean, like that. If that was in a game, that's what we're saying about now. It's just in previous games, but also when you play for like 40 minutes and then it crashes and it doesn't save. Like for me, that's an unplayable game. Don't make me play another 40 minutes again. Like I fucking hate that shit so much. That's when I'm like, I'm out. But here's something, Sean. In the world of football, unplayable means really fucking good. So that's always confused me. I don't get it. So if say Phil Foden's had an amazing game, like he's been brilliant, they'll say, "Oh, he was unplayable today."
Yeah,
really?
And I'm like, what does that mean?
Well, it means the opposition can't play against him.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
Yeah,
he's unplayable to play against.
Yeah.
Fuck it, just say it's really good. That's an awful way of saying it. Like I don't agree with that.
Yeah, because it sounds like cannot be played. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he cannot be played. He's unplayable. Why is that? Because he's injured.
Yeah.
He's not in the country.
I can't believe you didn't know that.
Well, it's just because every time I've ever heard anyone use that, I thought, what a bell end. Like honestly, oh no, he's unplayable. If anyone says that, no one says that in real life, right? That's a media thing. You've never heard anyone say that in real life, have you? He was unplayable.
What, describing a footballer?
Yeah.
I mean, I might have heard it on a football podcast. But
Yeah,
it's
like on a
But it's
podcast,
in the
it's a
football
media
vernacular.
thing.
You're just so used to it, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's not. It's one of those things that was never in the football vernacular. Someone said it on fucking Match of the Day once or something, and then all of it's like bounce back ability. Oh, they've got great bounce back ability.
That
Shut
was an
the
Ian
fuck
Dowie
up.
thing.
Yeah, but you will never hear like a proper football fan saying any of that shit. Oh, he's unplayable. Shut up, mate. What the fuck are you saying? Oh no, they've got
I think you might.
No, you wouldn't. No, Matt, you don't know football people. That's why you just watch Match of the Day 2 every fucking week.
I don't. I haven't watched that for ages.
I thought that was your favourite thing ever. Oh, Total Football Show. Anyway, where were we? So, unplayable. Yeah, that's it.
It's always technical shit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's technical shit. Yeah.
Very rarely is it like a design choice, unless it's like bullshit that like you can't foresee getting you somehow. That's always shit. But then again, you very rarely see that now.
And like the old days when I was an inverter and the game wouldn't let you invert, that would be unplayable for me. I couldn't play it.
God, yeah.
Simple as that. But luckily,
So
I
glad I'm out
changed,
of that
baby.
now.
Yeah, so am I actually. And I know James is sitting there fuming, but I'm so glad I made that switch.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest thing, and I never thought I'd ever be able to do it. And now that I've done it, it's like I loaded up Fallout today, and obviously it didn't have a save on it. I loaded it up. I was like, oh, I can look around without fucking going through the menus. This is great.
Yeah, I used to play totally different. So my right stick was move forward, left stick was look, and it was inverted. It was like I was totally flipped.
What?
Yeah. I used to play like, is it Southpaw where like the sticks are flipped?
Because you are left-handed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
But then after an EGX 1 year, when I couldn't bother to change the settings, so I just taught myself to do it the other way.
That robbed me of playing Halo 2 early. That did. It killed me. We queued up for 2.5 hours at GameStars Live to play Halo 2. We got in, and I went to change to inverted, and they went, no, you're not allowed to do that. And because I was a kid, I went, okay, but I should have gone.
I've just done it.
I've queued up for 2.5 hours, mate. I'm changing this. Do you know what I mean? Like you could change it after I walk out. It's fine. But I didn't. I didn't do that. It fucking kills me.
Advocate for yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
With Nail and Pie says, congrats on 400 episodes. If you had to consensually kiss a game show host on the lips in order to save the world from nuclear war, who would you choose?
Game show host.
Well, that doesn't really sound like normally these questions are like you've got to pick like the least bad option.
Yeah, this is weird.
Surely there are loads of kissable games. Does
Bradley Walsh?
Yeah,
Steve Mulhern.
Yeah,
Stephen Mulhern. I bet Stephen Mulhern smells nice.
I'm just trying. I don't know many game show hosts, so like,
you have to know them.
Well, no, of
them. Now, does Claudia Winkleman hosting The Traitors count? Don't shake yet. Don't shake yet.
Yeah, I think.
That's a game show,
Claudia
right?
Really though, is that?
What?
Okay.
Are you telling me you don't fancy Claudia Winkleman?
No, I don't.
Grow up.
She's nice.
No, I don't. On my fancy list, that's probably Claudia. It's never crossed my mind. Actually.
It's the way she dresses more than anything else.
No,
she just seems nice as well.
She just seems
no. See, Davina McCall.
Yeah,
would be up there for me. I think
we've got some good shouts.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable with this conversation.
Phil says, does Victoria Coren Mitchell count?
Can we go back to Mulhern?
it says Gino DeCampo does Family Fortunes now. Handsome fella.
He's very attractive, isn't he? You're right, Matt. I've suddenly become uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, we're not going to start listing hot game show hosts we want to kiss.
Hello, welcome to episode 400 of Computer Game Show. Who'd you fuck?
Having a kiss to prevent nuclear war, Dave.
You know, one of my first thoughts was Bruce Forsyth. Because I'm like, okay, game show host. I'm like, what game shows are there? Yeah, Generation Game, like no one's going to know the reference anyway. But yeah,
he's gone.
Not now.
He's no longer with us.
In his prime.
I liked Mr. Blobby.
Yeah, I like
Mr. Blobby's a good shout.
Yep.
Yeah, Noel Edmonds. Run your hand through his golden, silver hair.
His mane.
Let's
move on.
Host.
So a
Chris
much more
Tarrant.
sensible question from MD Kraboffs. Says 2017 was the year that I switched from crunchy to smooth peanut butter and realized that I could use hair conditioner on my pubes. What small impactful changes have you made in your life?
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Why wouldn't you just shave them off?
Yeah, shave them all off.
Smooth, nice.
Why
Oh, no,
did you
smooth,
sound
I'm
like
peanut butter.
Why did you sound like Joe Pasquale when you said that, Sean? Why did you just shave them off?
Me.
Yeah, what little things? Do you know what? I'm not a peanut butter guy at all. The smell of it turns my stomach, makes me feel ill.
Oh, I like peanut
It's
butter.
weird, isn't it?
You don't like
It's
it?
weird.
Well, yeah, you don't like that.
No,
anything
no,
with
I don't
peanuts?
like it.
Anything with
No, I
peanuts?
don't like peanuts either. No,
Do you
no,
like
don't
Snickers?
peanuts. No.
Don't like
that would not
peanut
be on my
M&Ms.
list.
You don't like a salted peanut?
No.
I don't like peanuts. I don't know. You could say different things with peanuts in it. I'm
Do you
not
like
going to like
Peanuts,
it.
the
am I?
cartoon?
That's pretty good. Fair play. That is pretty good.
That's the
So
best
you
peanut.
do like peanuts? Up
Yeah,
yours.
you do. found Dave's way into peanuts.
What little thing that? What do I do? What small impactful changes have you made?
Yeah, this is great.
your life?
Okay.
It's a really good question, but I can't think of a single answer.
Marmite, getting Marmite in the morning. That has cheered me up every morning.
Really?
And I just have a little fucking bit of Marmite.
Yeah, I love
Not-
Marmite.
Oh, Marmite. Yeah, but you only like things that are full of sugar. That's your
That's
problem.
true.
Anything
It's true.
slightly bitter.
Yeah,
you
none of that umami
absolutely
nonsense.
detest.
Thank you.
So, last year, Starbucks stopped making their cheese and Marmite ciabattas, and I've been having them literally since I was like 15. And they stopped making them. They cancelled them.
There's a great end to this story, and I really hope you're going that way. Go on.
Well, they're back, and
Oh,
now
fuck.
and now what I do is I
thought you were
feel
gonna
like
say I learned how to
have
make
a
them.
responsibility to buy one every time I go in, just so Mr. Starbucks knows. Look, that there are fans of this delicacy, and so I feel like I've got something in me. I've got to buy one every time I go to Starbucks. They're so good. They're
What
the best
local
thing they do on the
businesses,
menu.
please?
What did you want me to say, David?
I want you to say I learned how to make my own ones, and now I make my own versions, and I think they're better.
I mean, you can put Marmite. I've done that before. I've put Marmite on cheese, obviously.
Yeah, but what you're paying £5 for it in fucking Starbucks, mate? Why don't you just put Marmite on cheese then, or whatever?
Because then I'll have to because if I'm getting a lovely cheeky Starbucks, well, I'm like, oh, there's that thing that I like. Anyway, whatever. Probably loads of small impactful changes actually.
I mean,
Can't think of a
moisturising's
single one.
good. Got to moisturise, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I
So-
do
I've
my
done that
nose
from
because I've got
very early
really
on, though, so
bad
that's-
nose.
Sorry,
Yeah,
everyone
well-
spoke at once. Then I got confused.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I don't think we've got an answer for this, have we? Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Next
Sorry,
question.
Mr. Krabaffs, that was a good question.
Yeah, next question comes from Mr. Dix. Says,
Dix.
Did I pre-read? Oh, it's from Dean. That's why it's like this.
We know now.
Dean, I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no, me too. It says, I've always been an atheist, but as I grow older, I started to become more open to the idea of an almighty creator and a greater meaning for life, which got me thinking, if Matt was a gangster rapper from the 90s, would he be East Coast or West Coast? How many caps would he pop? And what method would he use to take out an enemy podcaster? Stay natural. Jungle is massive. Much love, Dean.
Great question.
Cheers, Dean. Go on,
Go on, Matt.
Matt.
Oh, but it's about
Please
me. I figured it'd be you two answering on my behalf.
Right. Which got me thinking, if Matt was a oh, right, yeah, I could see why you think that, but no, go on.
What about East
East
or West?
Coast, East Coast or West? I don't know enough to comment.
West is cooler, right? So you'd be East
Is it?
Coast. Yeah.
West is best. East is beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably go. Yeah, I'll rather be.
How many caps would he pop?
I'm going to
None.
go for 0 caps. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, 0 caps. He hasn't got any in him. Just hasn't
No,
got it in him.
I'll pop a cap if I had to.
Oh, no, you wouldn't, because no,
If
you
I had
wouldn't.
to.
On
If
what?
I was a
gangster
in
from
what
the
90s,
situation would you
caps would be
have to
popped.
pop a cap?
Yeah, you wouldn't be so careless
Go
as
on.
to end up in a situation.
Yeah, but if I was a gangster rapper from the 90s, I'd probably have to get
Go on, then.
suspect on the streets.
What will give us a situation where you're popping a cap?
Oh, if someone else said you got to pop a cap off, they're going to fuck you up. I'm like, well, okay, I guess I'll do it because I'm a gangster rapper from the 90s.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, I asked a question and I got an answer.
Yeah.
And what method would you use to take out an enemy podcaster?
Who are your enemy podcasters, Matt?
Yeah, who's the Matt Murray of gaming podcasting? Go on.
Well, there's only one.
It's me. Yeah. It's Matt Murray, surely.
I know, there's plenty of you that just turn around and go, "Oh, this game's great." Oh,
I don't think
most
Matt
of them
Murray
are on
can
Giant
be
Bomb.
replicated.
Name another one then.
Name another Matt Murray.
Yeah, you can't.
There's no need to call me that.
Well, no. There are no others like me. To quote Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift is the Matt Murray of video games podcasting. There we go.
I wish I was a Taylor
how would
Swift
you take her out
podcasting.
then? How would you take out an enemy? Oh, I mean, there's a clear answer to this. Go on. How would you take out an enemy podcaster?
Is there a clear answer for this?
Yeah, just for a nice meal and maybe go to cinema or
Yeah.
I can go to a nice speakeasy and see what happens.
A speakeasy?
Yeah.
What the fuck is
Chicago in the 1920s?
No, they're everywhere now, aren't they? Can't move for speakeasies these days in
that? What's
town.
a speakeasy?
It goes on in a modern day speakeasy.
It's like a hidden bar.
Okay.
What do you mean
There's one in Leeds where...
Why would you want to go to a hidden
To be fair,
bar?
Dave, I'm willing to bet that we're just out of touch on this one.
Yeah,
No,
fine.
honestly,
But
they're
what's a
everywhere.
hidden? Why go to a hidden bar when there
Because
are
you
just bars?
feel cool. There's one in Leeds called Domino Club where you go into a shopping centre.
Well, it's not that hidden anymore. You're going to get kicked out, mate.
Basically, when you look at it, it looks like a kind of barber's, but no, there's actually a door that takes you down to a bar. It's not hidden. People know about it, obviously, but
this is just another way to try and spend charge an extra £2 for a pint.
It's just nice and cozy. There's a great one in Manchester.
What kills me, Matt, is you buy into this bollocks. Just go to a pub. You don't need to go through a phone box.
I do often go to a pub and a bar, but
age,
sometimes, let's go to
knows
Domino Club. It's nice and cozy, and it's like, oh, look, it's secret.
Like, surely in the internet age, everyone knows it's sort of bollocks because you can't keep a secret.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
not
exactly.
secret.
Oh, look,
obviously.
it's a secret bar that I saw on Instagram. Like, it's fucking horseshit. Oh, what's that? £12 a drink? Yeah, go on then, because it's secret. Oh, fuck off. Just
when you come to
go
Leeds,
where
I'll
the
tell you
Thinking
Domino
about
Club, it's
that
good.
one we went to for Sam's stag, Dave.
No, that was different though, right?
Okay.
That was
hang on,
different.
why?
Because the drinks were like insanely reasonable. Like,
yeah, to be fair, it was all right. Yeah, it was all right.
Aggressively reasonable. Like I was sitting there. So Sam took us. Was it Sam or was it Joe? Joe took us to this little bar, and I hadn't even heard of it before. And we sat down, and I thought, "Fuck this! I'm not spending like £12 on a bottle of Beck's or whatever shit they had behind the bar." And she gave us the menu, and I was like, "This is cheaper than most bar. What? How is this place existing?"
And they had like a really good like booze free select. I was sure there was like 6 or 7 different mocktails you could get. I was
it
like,
was really weird that place.
2.
We were in central London, and we were the only ones in there. Like that place is
Sounds
definitely
fucking
closed
secret,
down.
then.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah. Okay, go on. Good point. You shut me up there, Sean. Well done.
That's all right.
Are you proud of yourself?
I don't think I was trying to do that.
Well, I think you were.
Louis B.
Next question.
Louis B says, I've noticed, excuse me, I've noticed whenever somebody says something that brings the pod to a grinding halt, and we've had a few of those tonight, David signals to move on by saying, all right. Is this a reference to something? Congratulations on reaching 400 episodes. Appreciate you.
What is that? Yes, it will be in reference to something, but I've forgotten what it is.
Is it not the?
I've been doing that since I was a kid.
The training video.
Oh, right. No, that's different. Right. No.
Right.
That's different. That's different. So so there's a training video where someone's being trained how to carve up meat in a carvery, and it's It's a dollar thick slice. All this. And someone edited it so that he's asking all these questions where he goes, Did you like chocolate from Sunday? Did you watch the game last night? What's the weather out there like? And then they don't answer, and he goes, no, all right. No, it's not that. The one I do is all right. I think my dad did it when I was like 12 or something, and I heard him do that to someone and just thought that's the most cringe-worthy thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's the Drifter in Destiny 2. He does that. All right,
Really?
all right. No.
Well, maybe my dad was
wow.
a big Destiny 2
Big
player
Destiny 2
when I was
as a
12.
child.
There's another thing that he did once where he was at a party once and he was dancing. I feel bad about this, right? Because we terrorized him for years. And there was the Locomotion was playing, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he walked
Kylie
over
song.
to someone and went, "Hey, baby, do the Locomotion with me, yeah?" And me and
In
my
that
brother
accent?
wet ourselves, in that accent, wet ourselves, and just constantly say it. "Hey, baby, do the Locomotion with me, yeah? Hey, baby, do the Locomotion with me, yeah?"
Good. That is really good.
That was probably having a lovely time at
But
a wedding.
I feel bad because he gets embarrassed every time we do it. But let's face it, he ruined my fucking life.
Well,
So
there you go. That's fair. You can do it at his funeral, yeah?
I'm back. A little dig back. Go on.
Excuse me. The Pond Skater says, with the recent and very exciting news that Meta is to license out their VR operating system, this got me thinking, is it possible that Microsoft could do something similar with the Xbox? There's been much speculation over whether they're to continue with making hardware. However, sorry, it feels weird reading this out when we've just done loads of stupid ones.
Yeah,
good.
go on. It's fine.
Carry on.
It's how the show goes.
There's been much speculation over whether they're to continue with making hardware. However, if they were to license out their Xbox OS to third-party manufacturers such as Asus, Lenovo, MSI, etc., then Microsoft could then concentrate on releasing their games on multiple formats. This could give birth to a console running on PC-like hardware, which is almost the case now. But just think of a PC in a console-sized case running the Xbox OS using a controller, none of the bloat or hassle that comes with a Windows PC. Think of the power of a PC with the convenience of a console. Oh, we've heard this before, though.
Go on.
Power of a PC with the convenience of a console. Plug and play. Is this a possibility or just wishful thinking? As usual, keep up the good work, fellas. The Pond Skater. P.S. Yes, this is very similar to what the 3DO did back in the 90s, but don't let that put you off.
It sounds like a good idea in theory.
Yeah, but it does. But like, there's a reason why it hasn't happened, right? There's a reason, and in my opinion, it's about control. The whole idea about a console is about that you can control the hardware and you can control the games that have been released on that hardware, and you can optimize them to, like, for example, a PC will always be more powerful than a console, right? But there are games that are released on consoles that are so far above what that console should be able to achieve, and that's due to optimization and knowing that you're releasing a game where everyone's got the same hardware, right? And obviously, when people say PC gaming is way more advanced and the better graphics, high resolution, that is true for the highest end PCs and not for what most people have, right? So the fact that we're trying to think that Microsoft might go that way, I'm not saying. See, what I would think is that instead of taking the console idea and putting it into PC gaming, it would be the other way around, right? Where it would be more like what Steam have done with the Steam Deck. I think what Valve have done with the Steam Deck is so clever to release very limited versions of that fucking thing. And even when they've just upgraded it and said, here's a new screen with the OLED screen and all that sort of stuff, fine, the guts are the same, right? And I think that's really important for Steam Deck to survive, that you're creating a platform that you know whether it's been optimized for Steam Deck or not. And I think if Microsoft go down that route, it will be similar. I'm not convinced they would go down that route. I don't see the major benefit in them going down that route. I'm not convinced.
Well, because Valve did do the Steam Machines thing a while back.
They did,
and that was rubbish.
Because that was a learned lesson. I genuinely think that was a learned lesson where they looked at that and said, "Oh, we opened it up too much." When people want to buy when people want to buy one system thing like a Steam Deck or this Steam, what they call them again?
The Steam Machines.
The Steam Machines, whatever. They want to know what they're getting. Like, they want to know that when they buy a Steam Deck, that the loads of people also buying the same thing, so that they can trust it and they can trust that it'll be supported. I think that's a big thing, and that's where PC gaming and console gaming is so divided. And don't get me wrong, it's just a different mentality thing, right? Like, so console gamers want to know that they're buying a machine for seven years. or 5 years or whatever it is that they think they're going to own this machine for. Whereas PC gamers don't want that. PC gamers want the ability to update. It's just a mentality thing. There's no right or wrong, but they're just two different ideologies. Trying to bring them together is going to be such a hard thing to do. Yeah, I think Valve have done an incredible job with the Steam Deck to get it to that point with that console, and I'll be fascinated to know at what point they want to release a better version of the Steam Deck.
Yeah, they did say a while ago that they're still like some years away from where they want to go next, because they need the technology to improve to a certain point, and they can see it as a worthy upgrade. Just like kind of similar to this, I met some friends this weekend, and one of them was like, "Oh, have you heard about this Absolute handheld thing?" And I was like, "What?" And it's spelled ABXYLUTE, and it's 170 quid. Essentially like a PlayStation Portal, but it works, for you can stream your Xbox, you can remote play PlayStation, you can do Steam Link on your PC, and then also does Amazon Luna and other kind of cloud things. And I was like, actually, I mean, I can't comment on the quality of this handheld. I haven't played it, but I was like, oh, hang on, maybe this might be quite viable. It's basically doing what the Portal's doing, but you can also use it for your Xbox, for your PC, for Xbox Cloud Gaming, for Amazon Luna. I was like, well, it's good that whether Portal has or hasn't kind of kickstarted this new kind of range of devices, I'm like, well, this is actually quite tempting for 170 quid.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I haven't read any reviews, so I can't comment.
Is a pretty good price.
Is that something you've heard about, either you two, or
no?
Is it Logitech?
I think it's. I think it's just Absolute is like this name of this manufacturer, so I can't.
Oh right, okay. I'm looking at the Logitech one, which is 270, but
yeah, so it's ABXYLUTE, the Absolute, but it's like 7-inch 1080p screen, 8 hours battery life. It's got Hall sensor joysticks. It's lightweight. The fact you can remote play all your devices, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. Right? I haven't heard of this. But this looks
well, as soon as we've given up a plug, we'll all get a free one, won't we?
Yeah, I might contact them actually.
All right. Last question.
I'm going to read out one more, and then I'm just going to disappear for a minute because Looper's driving me fucking insane. I've let him out 3 times, and he's not done anything, and now he's asking to be let out again, and he keeps doing horrible farts. Tri-State says, after spending 3.5 hours trying to get a football up a stego slide in Power Simulator, I felt a sense of shame once the achievement dinged because it felt like such a waste of time. Have you ever felt like an endeavor in games is just a complete waste of time and felt shame for it?
No. I'm very, very quick to go, this isn't worth my time, I'm done. Like, honestly, if I get to the point in my head where I'm like, I'm just wasting my time, I'm done. Like, I don't need. I feel sorry for James because James hasn't got that. James has got that thing where if he sets out to do something, he has to do it no matter what. And like the amount of times where I just go, James, you're fucking hating this. Don't do it. Like, what's the point? But he can't. He can't. And you're a little bit like that, Mike.
Yeah,
Matt,
there
right?
are things I can't quit, and I spent. Like there's an achievement in Outer Wilds, and I spent 4 hours trying to get to the sun station.
Oh yeah, I remember you sending us the video,
and that took hours and hours and hours. But that was still worth it because I don't know when to quit, for better or for worse, often worse. And yeah, right, I'm very stubborn.
Can you just review what you just said? I spent hours to get into the sun station. It was still worth it because I can't quit. Like what? No, that's not a reason to make it worth it.
But I still felt satisfied. In fact, I felt very satisfied. That's actually probably one of the most proudest achievements I've ever got, actually. But I just can't.
What, in life?
In gaming.
Okay, all right, fine.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying, Sean. If I get to a point where I don't give a shit, I'm like, nah, okay, I don't. I'm quite happy to just not chase a goal that I don't want to get to.
I'm better at that these days. Life's too short. I think the last really bad one for me was, was it? I think it was Destiny 1. It was like an exotic sword. Does Destiny 1 have swords? I think it did. And it was a pure grind. Like I don't like it when people use the word grind for like doing something repetitive, as like when it's actually quite fun. Whereas this was literally, here's an area, just go around it for several hours picking up resources, and that was all it was. It was dog shit, and I don't know why I did it. So there you go. That would be.
I think it's different. It's different when you're streaming stuff. So like, like Lake, I would have ditched way earlier. had it not been on stream or stuff like that. I do have a love-hate relationship with Power Sim, as you mentioned, Tri-State, but there must be something to it. It must be something. Like, I downloaded the Warhammer stuff today. Unfortunately, the Warhammer stuff seems to be focusing on stuff that I really hate about Power Wash Simulator. I really love big open levels that look beautiful as you get rid of the dirt, right? But there are levels in Power Wash Simulator where it's like, oh, there are loads of nooks and crannies, so you've really got to get every angle to spray this tiny little thing. So far I did the tank, and it was just that. It was fucking infuriating. I was like, oh my God, just make it... I don't want it to be difficult. I just want it to be, like, big and take forever. Like, I'll take that every day of the week. Yeah, it's a shame. But, yeah, I'm quick to ditch stuff. It's a shame James isn't here, because he will have tons of stories that relate to this question, without a shadow of a doubt. But I say it's a shame that he's not here. Just not a surprise. Is that it for questions?
That is it for questions.
Matt, socials.
Yeah, no streams this week.
Sorry, I meant to update this. I will continue with the not Lego Ornithopter on Thursday, I think.
You didn't get very far. I watched you. You were like 2 hours, and you just did like one stick with a few bits on it.
Yep.
I was like, what?
Feels good. It's because of the fucking bags, Dave.
Yeah,
they're not labeled
it's such
properly.
A big difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a killer. Well, that's what we do. We spend a good hour. The three of, like, Joe, Harry, and I sit down and we color code everything. We put them all in little colored things, and then that's how we do it. It's just get your real work done, mate. You know what I mean? Get your prep work done.
The stream. That will be Thursday night at 9 p.m. Go to twitch.tv/TCGSco and you can watch Sean stream that live. Probably not a Farley stream, but who knows on Friday. Keep people just in case. If you miss the streams live, you can watch them on YouTube. Just search TCGS on YouTube or go to @TCGS. I think that also works. But if you've got Amazon Prime and you've got a Twitch account connected, you get something called Twitch Prime Gaming, where you get one free subscription to any channel of your choosing. Why not take that subscription and go to our channel and give it to us, because we really, really appreciate it. Our patrons, patreon.com/TCGS. It's been great seeing all the support we've had in the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's done really, really well. So thank you everyone who's supported us. We will get a bonus podcast out soon this month, maybe in the next couple of weeks, and then we've got we've got this Temu thing.
Temu is
the thing. And there's other ways to support what we're doing by going over to Patreon, and the website's tcgs.co for links to our amazing Discord community, store, podcast, socials. It's all on there.
Episode 400 of the Compute Game Show is done.
Thanks.
I just wanted to personally thank everyone. I'd like to thank everyone that listens to the show and enjoys it, whether you've been in touch or not, whether you are listening on the bus, whether you listen on your commute, whether you listen at home, wherever you listen to this podcast. Thank you so much, because without the support that you've given us over the years, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here today getting to do the things that we love. And it's all thanks to you. Thank you so much to the people that go on Twitter or go into forums and recommend us. Or if you've spoken to a mate and said you should check this podcast out, we owe you everything, really, because we haven't got a marketing budget. We haven't got. We're not owned by a company. We haven't got we haven't got people from the industry to sort of push this podcast.
I mean, there's people that could, but they just seem to choose not to.
Not to. But the people that listen to this show seem to recommend us, and I cannot tell you how huge that is. If you turn around to a friend and say, "Listen to this podcast, I think it's funny," or "It's about gaming, I think you enjoy it," I can't tell you how much of an impact that has on the show. It's huge. And then finally, to anyone that signs up to our Patreon, whether you're at full Nels tier, which we love you so much, all the way down to the £2 a month tier, which gets you nothing. It's just a thank you.
Access to Discord.
Like, Sorry?
Get
It gives
access
you
to
access
Discord.
to Discord. Everyone's got access to Discord, don't they?
They
the
get the
Patreon
Patreon channel.
Oh, you get a Patreon channel, right? But like that, the idea that's like I subscribe to Patreon stuff, and I do so not because I want the extra content, although that is pretty cool, but the fact that I love supporting the shows that I love, TLNA, Chatterbix, my new football club, but stuff like that. All I want to do is support the shows that I love, and to think that someone thinks that about us is mind-blowing. So thank you if you've signed up to our Patreon, and finally, just I get to podcast with my best mates every week, and I get to podcast to some of my best mates every week. Some of them don't show up much, but no, I mean, I love James with all my heart, and I love you too. So to get to do this every week is an absolute joy. So 400 doesn't seem like an achievement. It's pretty cool that we've hit that number, but we've just done something that we've loved doing every fucking week. So
yeah,
thank you,
episodes
everyone.
have helped us. We've talked about this loads, but yeah, like it helps us every week. Whether we're having a good day at work, bad day, stressed, happy, whatever we are, like this podcast it just always helps us every single week. So we love doing it, and we hope that kind of comes through in the stuff we do, and it's an absolute honor that people get to say they love it as much as we love doing it, frankly. And yeah, like I wouldn't change it for the world. So thank you, and like people like who've made friends via the podcast through the Discord, or in the chat on Twitch, or whatever, or people who've met or chatted via our Patreon things. It's amazing. I also love the Patreon stuff. Like we get way more deep and personal on that, but it gives us an outlet, and people seem to enjoy that side of it as well. We don't often do it on this show. This show's purely 100% laser focused on video games. We never go off on tangents ever. But being able to do that, and people getting some help and support through the various subjects we're talking about on there is amazing. And as Chod just mentioned there in chat, TCGSCon, the fact that we've done 2 of our own kind of solo live shows. We loved used to doing kind of EGX Rezzed and EGX live shows, but getting able to do our own has been amazing. We are desperately trying to get one sorted for this year. Still trying to find a venue, but it's been amazing meeting so many of you there as well at TCGSCon. So thanks for everything, and here's the next 400.
Yeah, and I think the only thing I would add is like just how touching it is. Like some of the feedback we get. I know we joke about the shit we get from pricks, but like the fact that people get in touch, not just to tell us that they like the show, but the way people have gone into detail sometimes about things that have resonated with them or that have meant a lot to them to hear from us or whatever. Like we don't always read that stuff out on the show because they often say, please don't read this out on the show. But we just to acknowledge we do see that stuff, and it really means a lot to us that people, because like excuse me, I've got a cough. That's not me getting
choking up.
But like,
then why are you crying?
It would be.
Why are you openly sobbing?
It'd be disingenuous to be like, "Oh, we're just
crying
4 guys who talk about games." Like, I think we do try to. Sorry,
he really is getting upset, isn't he?
It does sound like you get very emotional.
No, you can see. Look, no tears on camera.
This is Sean. This is like the time when I got a cough at Sean. Sam.
I'm like zoom in on my face.
Yeah, this is like when I got a cough at Sam White's wedding, and it sounded like I was crying.
Yeah,
so well embarrassing.
What I was saying there. Yeah, just how nice people are and how open they are about some of the feedback we get is really wonderful. Really appreciate it.
And we will see you for episode 401. And we hope that you're doing okay. And if you're not, we hope that feeling passes as soon as possible. We will see you next week. We love you all. Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
Goodbye.